A cultivator wearing a fox mask descended from the sky, reaching out with his right hand in the void to toss the white robe 100 zhang away, dodging the sword chi. Cough, cough. Chun Sansi wiped the blood from his chin and finally breathed a sigh of relief, but suddenly realized something important. If he remembered correctly, Duguayou was only at the Golden Core realm. Meanwhile, the demonic chi from the white-haired Jiangxia had already risen to the mid-stage nascent soul level and was still increasing. What could Duguayou use to fight? His gaze returned to the battlefield. The prey had been rescued, and the female devil's expression grew even more crazed and bloodthirsty. Holding the ice soul sword, she shot up from the ground and in the blink of an eye appeared before the fox mask, her sword drawing a bloody yet beautiful arc in the moonlight. Boom! Duguayou summoned a pure black magical shield just in time, but under the heavy blow, he was sent straight back down to the ground. He slid back to absorb the force, speaking as he did, "Taishu!" On the ground, the flying sword left by the loose cultivator Shin Tui disappeared. When it reappeared, it was already in Duguayou's hand. He held the long sword above his head, blocking the sword chi that attacked again. With a thunderous sound, the entire area shook violently, the magical shockwave flattening the surroundings several miles. Even Duguayou himself couldn't sustain and was heavily smashed into the ruins, blood flowing from beneath his mask. He coughed lightly twice, supporting himself with the Taishu sword, kneeling on one knee for a long time without being able to stand. Yet the female devil charged again, with even more massive sword chi. Senior Dugu. Chun Sansi naturally couldn't just stand by and watch. Forcing his battered body, he wanted to get up and help. However, Duguayou raised his palm to him, signaling not to come closer, then sighed, his voice hoarse as he muttered to himself. "It seems I can't hide it any longer. Oh well, it's just as well to get some practice." A demonic golden core emerged from his mouth, the runes on its surface flowing like golden vines, and streams of clean energy burst forth as if the Milky Way was pouring down, irrigating his whole body from Duguayou's heavenly spirit. His cultivation level began to fall at a pace visible to the naked eye. That's right, it was falling. From the golden core it fell to foundation establishment, and then from foundation establishment down to chi refinement. Chun Sansi almost thought he was hallucinating until he saw the next scene. Once Duguayou's cultivation level dropped to the chi refining realm, the mana accumulated in his dantian instead began to grow more and more vast, quickly exceeding the limit of what a chi refining cultivator should have. If it had to be divided according to the chi refining realm, it would be chi refining at 100 levels, 1,000 levels, 10,000 levels. Pure innate magical power swirled around his body, forming a barrier before him that forcefully blocked the sword chi struck by the female devil. Duguayou slowly stood up, the mana within him still surging, chi refining at 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Chun Sansi was dumbfounded. What he saw, whether it was second senior sister or Duguayou, had already far exceeded the understanding of the vast majority of people in the cultivation world. One had suddenly elevated from late-stage foundation establishment to nascent soul-level combat strength, while the other suppressed to chi refinement from fake pill realm, yet the combat strength became even higher. This was something unrecorded in any classics. Crack! The ice soul sword of the red-eyed which finally tore through the barrier. But this time, her sword could no longer advance directly and was blocked by another flying sword. Amidst the gale and blizzard, Duguayou in a gray robe, his clothes fluttering madly, held a sword with one hand, his mystical energy like the sea, and began to battle intensely with the red-eyed witch. The two sword blades clashed endlessly, the crisp cry of metal nearly tearing apart all living beings' eardrums, the ground cracking inch by inch, mountains collapsing one after another, with the vast shock waves soaring to the sky, tearing apart the night and causing the clouds of the Great Wall to start rolling. Under such terrifying impact, any below the golden core would struggle to survive. Chun Sansi, sheltered by Duguayou's mana, remained unharmed. This is bad. He looked at the massive phenomenon, knowing the commotion here would soon attract attention from various parties. The trouble at hand must be dealt with quickly. Rumble. Every time they clashed, the land shook and mountains swayed. Chun Sansi noticed that Dugu Ao's sword Dao was exceptional, akin to his extreme divine skills, but seemingly not yet complete. But against the red-eyed witch's open and close style, he could maintain the upper hand, repeatedly exposing the opponent's flaws with sword moves. Clang! With another sword, Dugu Ao successfully repelled the crazed witch, looking up to the sky, and in a voice like a great bell, shouted word by word. All swords return to the ancestor. At his command, thousands of life-bound flying swords in the storage bags of cultivators in Dragon Elephant City, 1,000 miles away, were summoned, swimming up to the sky like silver fish, forming a magnificent Milky Way in the night, before diving down upon the white-haired, red-eyed witch at Little Witch Mountain. This was truly the Milky Way falling 9 heavens. In the heavenly sword rain, the red-eyed witch wildly brandished her blood-colored sword, like a boulder standing indomitably in a surging river, splitting the entire river in two. Give it to me. Beneath the fox mask, eyes suddenly constricted, an invisible majesty spreading. Subdue! At his command, the flying swords shone with golden light. The red-eyed witch finally fell into defeat, bathed in countless sword shadows, letting out a shrill, ear-piercing wail. Senior sister. Chun Sansi, worried for Jiang Xie's life, pleaded, Senior Dugu, my senior sister likely has some strange illness. When it acts up, she's not in control, but this isn't her true intention. I beg you to spare her life. If controllable, the best thing would be to let Master handle it later. But as he spoke, within the suppression of the myriad swords, the demonic chi within Jiang Xie began to rise again. Having already reached the late-stage nascent soul, if she continued to ascend, Chun boy, what are you still standing there for? Dugu Ao's voice thundered. If you don't find a way to wake this girl up, I'll have to strike. Chun Sansi hastily got up, moving forward with the yin-yang jade. He didn't know if the jade still worked, but given the situation, he had no choice but to try his utmost. Chun Sansi formed a seal and recited incantations as taught by the first senior sister, making the jade emit brilliant spirit light. Not only for him, but also on the red-eyed witch, the other half of the jade glowed, the two responding to each other, forming a massive 8 diagrams array seal, cooperating with all swords returned to the ancestor to subdue her, kneeling in agony and wailing. Burning sky fire, 10,000 beast fierce fire. Chun Sansi simultaneously unleashed 2 flames, which, after passing through the 8 diagrams array, turned into starlight, cascading over the red-eyed witch like a falling galaxy. Upon contact with the stars, the demonic chi on the white-haired Jiang Xie ceased to rise, gradually receding, though still slightly lacking, leading to an extremely slow speed. Chun boy, I'll give you a flame. Dugu Ao brought his 2 fingers together like a sword, lightly flicked toward the ground, shooting out a flame like green jade glazing. Chun Sansi understood his intention, immediately utilizing the swallowing fire technique to absorb it into himself. Since the spell was willingly passed down by Dugu Ao, he almost expended no effort in absorbing it. Divine skills, Tai Yin Qinghua Life and Death Flame. Incomplete. First rank upper volume. Progress 0/500. Utility Withered Wood Spring. Withered Wood Spring. When burning a wound, the flame devours diseased chi, transforming it into vital energetic energy to heal the cultivator's injuries, suppressing evil aura. Divine skills? The gift from Dugu Ao was actually a divine skill. Even though it was incomplete, it was still a divine skill. This Tai Yin Qinghua Life and Death Flame can be used to attack enemies, but its power is not great. Its main utility is for healing injuries. Chun Sansi's pupils burst with emerald spirit light, and he spat out glass-like azure profound flames, which turned into starlight through the 8 diagrams array seal, cooperating with the burning sky fire to thoroughly suppress the white-haired Jiang Xie, steadily devouring the demonic chi bit by bit. As the last trace of demonic chi dissipated, Jiang Xie's white hair also turned black again, but she seemed completely drained of magical power, so weak that her body went limp, collapsing to the ground unconscious. "What are you still dazing for?" Duguao reminded. "Chao Xie will be here soon. Why aren't you quickly taking people and leaving?" Chao Xie. Chun Sansi knew that people from the holy sect could arrive at any moment, but he didn't expect them to come so soon. "No way, we're missing someone," he said solemnly. "Xue Xianrong has escaped." At the onset of Jiang Xie's demonic possession, Xue Xianrong vanished quietly after taking a sword strike, and until after the trouble was dealt with, he was nowhere to be found, alive or dead, likely having seized the chaos to escape. Not only did this guy see the blind woman becoming possessed, but he also saw my dragon abyss sword and bright silver spear. Under no circumstances can he live. "I'll handle it," Duguao said in a deep voice. "Just go." "Thank you, Senior Dugu." Chun Sansi cupped his fists. "Today's kindness is beyond repayment," Duguao said calmly. "Stop with the nonsense. Just double the things I asked from you earlier." "No problem." Chun Sansi readily agreed, holding the unconscious Jiang Xie in his arms, then stepped onto the flying sword and soared into the sky. He overdrew his heavily injured body, taking his senior sister back to Dragon Elephant City, exchanging the head of Shuezhu for the creation Jade Dew, and then immediately took on an outside city task, quickly leaving this place of trouble. There were too many incredible events that happened tonight. Jiang Xie, Duguao. Even just now, news arrived at the dojo that something went wrong again within Sishui Path. Originally, the sects prepared to cremate the inexplicably dead bodies, only to discover the bodies had disappeared. Overnight, hundreds of thousands of bodies vanished into thin air, as if they evaporated from the mortal world. Adding to this, the nascent soul cultivator sent by the holy sect. Everything was a harbinger of imminent great events. With the creation Jade Dew in hand, Chun Sansi could no longer stay here. Demon! In the night sky, Xue Xianrong sped through the air on a leaf-shaped boat, his face no longer carrying the usual composure, replaced by immense terror. His upper robe was shredded, revealing broken dark green armor within. It's the life-saving magical treasure his father gave him, and it was by relying on this that he narrowly escaped death from that sword strike. How could this be? How could this be? Xue Xianrong was in disbelief. A long time ago, during a sect task, he happened to witness the scene of the blind woman becoming possessed and leaving after a killing spree. He thought that waking her today would smoothly clear the sect. Who knew things would spiral completely out of control? Senior brother Zhang, junior sister Song, they were all dead, and that Lu Shangji, who evidently is Chun Lei from the eastern continent. No wonder he heard heavenly killing true monarch had previously targeted this kid. Baihua Valley disciples descending into madness and harboring holy sect fugitives. As long as he could bring the news back, Baihua Valley would be doomed. "Father!" Xue Xianrong saw with his own eyes several beams of light of escape from the direction of Star Peak Mountain on the horizon. He immediately latched onto it like a lifeline, desperately moving towards them. "My son!" 1,000 feet away, Elder Xue Jingfeng of Flowing Cloud Peak recognized the small figure in the distance. Not long ago, he received a transmission from his son saying that he had discovered Jiang Xie of Baihua Valley becoming possessed, urging him to quickly go and purge the sect. As soon as he set off, a massive anomaly erupted from the direction of Little Witch Mountain, followed by the summoning of flying swords by all cultivators in Dragon Elephant City. Judging from the scale of the disturbance, it seemed only a battle above the nascent soul realm could have triggered it. Accordingly, Master Feng Ji of Guiyuan sect also proceeded to investigate the situation. Now, seeing his son's figure, Xue Jingfeng was about to inquire further when a sword light soared up directly towards Xue Xianrong. "Xianrong!" He was shocked and horrified, rushing forward with everything he had, but it was too late. The flying sword pierced straight through Xue Xianrong's heart, ending his life without even a scream. The body plummeted like a kite with a broken string, revealing a cultivator in a gray robe and delicate fox mask in view. "My son!" witnessing the gruesome death of his flesh and blood. Xue Jingfeng was furious, summoning his life-bound flying sword to attack the mysterious swordsman. Xue Jingfeng, it was you who got your son killed. Duguao's icy tone carried mockery. From now on, take care of yourself. He had no intention to linger in battle, disappearing after leaving those words. Xianrong, Xianrong. Xue Jingfeng had no heart to pursue anymore. He used the object manipulation technique to control his son's corpse to his side, trying every means to revive him, all in vain. Hiss! Next to him, Master Fengji watched the direction where the mysterious swordsman vanished and muttered, Elder Xue, if I am not mistaken, this person should be Dugu Ao from the demon-slaying sect? Why must he kill your son? Could it be that Elder Xue and the people of the demon-slaying sect share some grudge? Having cultivated for over 200 years as a golden core cultivator, Xue Jingfeng quickly calmed his emotions, speculating the course of events in his mind. Silencing. Dugu Ao was silencing witnesses. His son clearly had something he wanted to say. It surely had something to do with Baihua Valley disciples. Elder Xue, my condolences. Master Fengji half-heartedly comforted him, then said, the commotion just now was too big. Surely, Heavenly Killing True Monarch and others will check it out after arriving at Si Xue Dao. Why not join forces to search for Dugu Ao's whereabouts? Xue Jingfeng said nothing, only putting away his son's body and heading straight to the scene of the incident. Little Witch Mountain. 3 nascent soul cultivators suddenly appeared amidst the ruins after the chaotic battle. These 3, 2 men and 1 woman. Heavenly Killing True Monarch Chao Xie, needless to say, was accompanied by an old woman with a snake-headed cane, and an extraordinary middle-aged cultivator. The old woman was Elder Yun Shuzi from Purple Sun Palace, one of the 3 Heavens sect, and the middle-aged cultivator was the Kungsu Elder from Holy Sect, Pure Yang Master. Such a grand commotion, such heavy demonic qi. Yun Shuzi probed the ground with her cane. Could it be those old demons from the chaotic wilderness Yongzhou fighting here? No, that's not it. Pure Yang Master squatted down, pinched a pinch of yellow soil with his fingers, and sniffed it at the tip of his nose. Those old demons don't have such purest extreme yin and fierce demonic qi. Such refined demonic qi. Apart from the old folks of the ancient demon clan, the only ones who could possess it. Chao Xie paused and guessed. It might just be something left behind by the upper realm immortals. Impossible. Pure Yang Master shook his head. We've been searching for so many years without finding it. How could it appear here? Indeed. The old woman's voice was hoarse. I don't believe there could be such a coincidence in the world. I was just speculating randomly. Chao Xie's divine sense scanned every inch of land around them, finding nothing further, and said solemnly, I think Emperor Tianqi Zhao Rui might know something. In that case, Pure Yang Master tossed away the soil from his fingertips, stood up and said, Let's go meet this young fellow then. This Zhao Rui. The old woman shook her head gently. Abandoning the throne, causing such mayhem, now the 1,000-year foundation might be destroyed. Taoist Yun Shuzi, don't sympathize with this man. Pure Yang Master said coldly. Today I am here personally to show the cultivators of the world the consequences of defying our Kungsu Saint sect. While speaking, he glanced intentionally at Heavenly Killing True Monarch, who remained expressionless. Heh! Then let's set off. Boom! Yun Shuzi raised her cane and struck the earth, causing the entire ground to shake violently. A mountain-sized snake head slowly rose from beneath them, carrying the nascent soul cultivators towards Dragon Elephant City. Junior Xue Jingfeng, Junior Fengji. Greetings to the 3 heavenly sect envoys. Xue Jingfeng and Master Fengji spoke in unison. Where's Zhao Rui? Pure Yang Master asked directly with anger. Why hasn't he come out to see me? In response to the 3 envoys, Master Fengji replied respectfully. Emperor Tianqi entered the Imperial Mausoleum for a retreat half a year ago and hasn't come out since. Imperial Mausoleum? Pure Yang Master puzzled. What's he doing there?
Envoy.
A commander from the Demon Suppression Department, with a gold medal hanging at his waist, approached boldly. His demeanor was less respectful than the other two Golden Core cultivators, and he spoke with a commanding tone. Your Majesty commands, summon the 3 envoys to the Imperial Mausoleum to meet him. What did you say? Pure Young Master doubted he heard right, and said amusedly and angrily, Is Zhao Rui crazy? Does he really consider himself the emperor of the cultivation world? Anyway, the Gold Commander said fearlessly, if the 3 envoys wish to see His Majesty, you'd better comply or else you'll have to leave. Pure Young Master snorted coldly, flipped his palm, and gently pressed it towards the ground. Instantly, the Gold Commander seemed to be crushed under a mountain. Wailing as he fell to his knees, blood streaming from his 7 orifices, his meridians shattered. I'll say it one last time. Pure Young Master spoke deliberately. Bring Zhao Rui out to meet me. His Majesty the Emperor. The Gold Commander's face twisted in agony, yet he endured the pain with great difficulty. How could there be a reason to come out and meet anyone? Courting death. Pure Young Master's palm continued downward, intending to crush him to dust. Let's forget it. Yun Shuzi extended her cane, gently blocking his hand, and said, Even if you kill him, Zhao Rui won't necessarily come out. We might as well go to the Imperial Mausoleum ourselves to see what that youngster is up to. Taoist, you're right. Pure Young Master agreed verbally, but unexpectedly released a sword chi, blasting the kneeling Gold Commander into a bloody mist. Let's go! 3 nascent soul cultivators transformed into 3 lights of escape and flew towards Imperial Mausoleum Mountain, landing at the peak within breaths. Upon the mountaintop, rolling dark clouds surged like a sea, lightning flowed endlessly, and the galling wind made pine waves fluctuate, causing everyone's robes to flutter and hair to dance wildly. Around them were towering tombs, among which 9 giant burial mounds stood out, each tombstone built with precious white jade stones, adorned with dragon and phoenix carvings, and clouds and densely packed runes. Blue smoke swirled around them like legendary immortal tombs. At the center of the 9 emperor tombs was an altar surrounded by eerie white bones. An official clad in a crimson dragon robe and wearing an ink-colored winged hat faced the tombs, bowing and offering incense. This person had a fair face without a beard, exuded an elegant and noble aura, and possessed extraordinary demeanor in every move. Zhao Rui, Pure Young Master addressed directly. You have repeatedly defied the sacred order, firstly by colluding with the demon sect for a blood sacrifice in Beiyangdao, attempting to secretly store the Emperor's breath soil, and now gathering cultivators from the Demon Suppression Department within Si Shui Dao's territory. We have ample grounds to suspect you've pledged allegiance to the demon realm, fallen into the demon path. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Correct. Unexpectedly, Emperor Tianxi didn't offer any defense, turning with frankness and saying, According to your logic, my cultivation of demon techniques, cooperation with the demon sect, indeed signifies my fall into the demon path. Why? Yun Shuzi sighed. The 3 heavenly sects have treated the Zhao family generously, granting you spirit veins, cultivation techniques, and the right to rule over all people, safeguarding Zhao's legacy for thousands of years. Why choose the demon path? Mistress Yun Shuzi, you've mistaken. Emperor Tianxi Zhao Rui spoke clearly. In the past, those above appropriated my Zhao ancestors' opportunities, and everything thereafter was mere compensation from guilt. Why must our Zhao show gratitude? Heh! Pure Young Master sneered. So, harboring resentment, you turn to the demon path? No, Zhao Rui denied. I would never let private grievances shed the blood of the great song servants in vain. Then, for what reason? Chao Xie asked, hands behind his back, with interest. Firstly for the common people, and secondly for the Grand Tao. Zhao Rui held a scroll, pointed towards the heavens, speaking loudly. Observe the Ziwei constellation, the stars arrayed, each of the 28 constellations settled in its place, forming the celestial order. Like rivers with embankments achieve their might, grains with seasons harvest their yield. The myriad beings of the universe should follow their natural order and rules, thus complying with heavenly Tao, Taoist technique in nature. Yet for centuries, cultivators swarm like locusts, sects abound like carp crossing the river, endlessly contending and killing. Is there a trace of the immortal's demeanor? For mortals, immortal tax exceeds 50% of each mu of land. This persisting chaos leads to the collapse of the heavenly Tao, order in chaos. Our Zhao clan strives for generations to rebuild immortal song, aligning with heavenly Tao. Young child, speaking of grand Tao boldly, while speaking, pure young master released the pressure of nascent soul realms mana. Today I'll see how a mere golden core speaks with such arrogance. There's someone else. Heavenly killing true monarch Chao Xia keenly observed, his gaze landing on a distant black jade coffin. Boom! The coffin soared into the sky, and a corpse cultivator emerged. Immortal Ba Sek's sect master, Left Hill Taoist? Yun Shuzi recognized immediately. To deal with this person, I'm enough. Chao Xia's demeanor was calm, stepping forward lightly, spreading array seals. Boom! The black jade coffin was suddenly opened, and amidst the overwhelming Yin Sha Qi, an old Taoist with crane hair and a youthful face sat cross-legged in the void. It was none other than Zhuqiu Taoist, the sect master of the immortal Ba sect. Without any mana fluctuations, Chao Xia vanished from his original spot like a ghost and reappeared within 7 steps of his opponent, holding a flying sword with a green tassel that appeared out of nowhere. Hee. Zhuqiu Taoist slowly opened his eyes. The world-renowned heavenly killing true monarch, today you intend to use the sword Tao to spar with this poor Taoist? Not sparring, but practicing. Chao Xia corrected. Recently at the Qingshu sect, I observed a martial arts divine power from a junior and gained some insights, so I plan to pick up the sword Tao I abandoned years ago. Meeting you today, my fellow Taoist, is a perfect opportunity to practice. Junior. Zhuqiu Taoist was slightly surprised. I really don't know what kind of junior could make the famous venerable of myriad laws so willing to learn. It's just that. He paused. The Yin Sha Qi surged out from his 7 orifices. His voice seemed to come from the 9 netherworld. You using me to test your sword is too much of an underestimation of me. Behind him, the coffin shattered inch by inch, then reassembled into a giant black jade sword in the air, its blade pointed directly at the blue robe. Chao Xia slowly raised his sword. 2 nascent soul cultivators engaged in battle. Suppress. Below them, pure yang real person reversed his palm again, and a 5-finger mountain descended from the sky, pressing towards the great song's crimson dragon robe official. Emperor Tianqi, despite only being in the golden core realm, did not dodge or evade. A sudden golden boundary rose around him, blocking the 5-finger mountain and shattering it. A 4th-rank boundary? It seems you were well prepared. Pure Yang real person squinted his eyes. Fellow Taoist Yun Shuzi, could you kindly break the boundary? Little Zhao Rue. Yun Shuzi said earnestly. That's enough if you admit your mistakes now. This old lady can still find a way to plead for you and leave a way out for the Zhao lineage. Do you think I dare to stand here and confront you all today because I'm in a desperate struggle? Zhao Rue's voice drowned out the thunder. Today, I ask the 3 heavenly sect envoys to remain here and be offerings for my immortal song society. Crack! An emperor's tomb suddenly cracked without warning, then collapsed with a roar, and the previously hidden coffin rose slowly amidst a gale. The coffin lid opened, revealing a corpse in a dragon robe. Great song Emperor Renzong. In the coffin, the Emperor Renzong, who had been asleep for thousands of years, suddenly opened his eyes, leapt up, and pounced at the 2 nascent souls. Qi refinement corpse puppet? Pure Yang real person glanced at it like an ant, flicked his finger, and pulverized Emperor Renzong's remains to dust. Where Emperor Renzong's body dissipated, a remnant corpse Qi lingered, slithering in the air like a black viper, entering the next emperor's tomb, causing the tomb to collapse, repeating the previous scene. An emperor who had been at rest for many years awakens. Great song, Emperor Suzong. Su Zong raised an azure dragon crescent blade and slashed down upon them. Click! Yun Shuzi lifted her cane, tapping it gently on the ground twice. Immediately behind her arose two sword cultivation puppets, transforming into two lights of escape, slicing the corpse of Su Zong into several pieces. From the remnants, another streak of corpse qi emerged and drifted into the next tomb. Next, Emperor Dai Zong of the Great Song awakened, with fists like iron, smashing through the air. Bang! Pure Yang real person sent another palm strike, crushing him, a solemn look appearing on his face. These zombies are getting stronger. After dismantling every corpse puppet, an irrepressible corpse qi remains, merging into another tomb, and the corpse puppet that arises from this tomb obviously possesses a higher realm than the last. This cycle continued until the ninth tomb began to collapse, and above everyone's heads, the great wall clouds started to clear away, replaced by a brewing of purple thunder. Tribulation, heavenly thunder. With the birth of the zombies, the heavenly tribulation descends. In several repetitions, the realm of Emperor Shenzong's corpse puppet rose directly from foundation establishment to the late stage of golden core. This world suddenly appeared defying the heaven's golden core corpse puppet, provoking the heavenly Tao's wrath, bringing forth divine punishment. Corpse cultivation itself is abhorred by heaven and earth, and the tribulation it brings down is often several times stronger than the breakthroughs of cultivators in the same realm. Crack! Strikes of purple thunder descend from beyond the clouds, enveloping the entire imperial mausoleum mountain. Such a powerful heavenly tribulation without thorough preparation, the usual result is annihilation, with no chance of rebirth forever. Pure Yang real person and Yun Shuzi originally planned to leave this place and let these sins be destroyed by themselves. But at this time, they heard the overwhelming sound of incantations in their ears. Looking up, they saw amidst the rolling thunder, the scroll in Emperor Tianqi's hand emitted spirit light, and with each page he turned, golden runes separated from the paper, floating above the void, resembling Buddhist chants around the ears, filling the world. Not good. Yun Shuzi realized. We've fallen into a trap. Before her voice fell, array flags rose from the ground, forming a complex and intricate formation centered around them. I'm sure the three envoys already knew there was a trap in the imperial mausoleum, yet you chose to ascend the mountain to check, simply because you underestimated this junior golden core cultivator. Zhao Rui stood amidst the gale, his winged hat fluttering wildly, each word like a grand toll of a great bell. Unbeknownst to you, waiting here today is not just Zhao Rui alone, but the entire Zhao clan, starting from Emperor Ranzong, 10 generations of saintly ancestors. As he spoke, from the collapsed tombs, strands of azure profound qi irrigated the formation, swirling above the heads of the three nascent soul cultivators. Every strand of azure profound qi contains the original qi of the great Song Emperor from 10 lifetimes, impossible to disperse or avoid. The mysterious corpse of the Nether Tower returning to the origin technique. 9-turn Heavenly Tribulation Chapter. In mid-air, Chao Xie was the first to recognize the origins of the Emperor corpse puppet and the strange formation before him. Chao Dao Yu, Master Chunyang spoke impatiently. Since you know what the Zhao child is up to, why not quickly tell us? Chao Xie and Zhuqiu Daoist distanced themselves, explaining simultaneously. Simply put, today a nascent soul corpse puppet will be born, and under its arrangement, the corresponding heavenly tribulation will be born by us instead. What? Master Chunyang was incredulous. We are to bear the heavenly tribulation? Is there a method to break it? Too late, Emperor Tianqi said. I've mentioned. Today I'll have the three envoys establish an unparalleled foundation for my immortal song. Several times the golden core heavenly tribulation thunder tribulation descended. Master Chunyang and others had no choice but to deploy their means to fiercely resist the tribulation. These three, even among the nascent souls, were esteemed figures. At this moment, deploying their means to contend with several times the golden core tribulation, they managed to hold on. But just as they were catching their breath, the last emperor's tomb began to collapse, merging 9 corpse puppets, bursting forth with vast Yin Sha Qi rolling like a tsunami. turning every grass, animal on the hill into dead branches and bones, devoid of vitality. High above the heavenly dome, an even stronger heavenly tribulation began to converge, countless violet thunder entangled together, forming a giant python swallowing the sky, descending with thunderous crashes, enveloping the entire sea Shui Dao Du in a violet glow. What is this? Heavenly tribulation? Is someone in the emperor's tomb undergoing tribulation? Master Fengji was dumbstruck. Nascent soul lightning tribulation? No! Shui Jingfeng felt his liver and gall trembling. To cultivators, heavenly tribulation is like the mountain king to all beasts, a fear stemming from bloodline. The dignified golden core cultivator, stammering at this moment when speaking, This is not an ordinary nascent soul lightning tribulation. There's a corpse cultivator undergoing tribulation above the emperor's tomb. Corpse cultivator? Nascent soul. Master Fengji's pupils trembled. Zhao Rui? I don't know. Shui Jingfeng shook his head. This is beyond what you and I can intervene in. All we can do is look over Star Peak Mountain. With such a large anomaly suddenly occurring, no doubt the demon realm will act. Elder, something big has happened. They had yet to finish speaking when a disciple flew in urgently using sword control. Master Fengji scrutinized the disciple. Didn't I tell you to find the tens of thousands of missing bodies in Si Shui Dao? What are you flustering around for? Bodies found. The disciple was terrified. No, they've returned on their own. Returned on their own? Shui Jingfeng rebuked. Explain clearly. An army. Those dead have formed an army. Tens of thousands gathered outside Star Peak Mountain. The disciple trembled as he spoke. Elder can see for himself. Report. Elder. The demon path has begun attacking the mountain. Tens of thousands of those commoners have special Insha Qi on them. Even cultivators may perish unexpectedly. Elder. The demon suppression department has turned coats. Elder. Star Peak Mountain can't be held. More disciples came to report sudden occurrences, plunging Si Shui Dao into chaos. Shui Jingfeng's heart sank, knowing all of Si Shui Dao was finished. 1,000 li away in a cave in the desolate mountain, Jiang Xie remained in a coma, fortunately not succumbing to any demonic influences. Chun Sansi was sitting cross-legged, nursing his injuries. The battle at Little Witch Mountain had left him critically injured. Recuperation alone might take half a year. Thankfully, having got hold of Creation Jade Du, the items required for core formation were all complete. All that's left is returning to Qingshu Sect to formally begin core formation. Boom! Loud sounds came from outside the cave. Chun Sansi came to the cave entrance, coincidentally witnessing the heavenly tribulation striking in the direction of Dragon Elephant City. Naturally, could it be the heavenly tribulation above nascent soul? He felt tongue-tied. The situation in Si Shui Dao was likely worse than he imagined. Suddenly another nascent soul appeared. It seems like a trap prearranged by Great Song or the Demon Path. Indeed, this place cannot continue staying. Chun Sansi summoned Qian Sun, placed the comatose Jiang Xie on horseback, then mounted to prepare his return to Qingshu Sect. The situation had spun out of anyone's control. The supervision squad had become redundant. Just when he was about to leave, a familiar shout echoed from behind. Good disciple, wait for your master. Naturally, it was Lord Taishan. Rushing over on a flying sword, he cursed, You wicked boy! You heartless cur! Your master guides and explains to you. You plan to flee by yourself, leaving me to die here alone. Do not blame me, senior. Chun Sansi earnestly stated. There's too many situations encountered. I nearly lost my life. Couldn't manage to care for others. Senior, just escaped from the city? How is it over there? Doomed. Mu Chutai said, Star Peak Mountain fell last night. Tens of thousands of demon path soldiers surrounded Dragon Elephant City tightly. Oh, and the demon suppression department also joined the demon path, meaning righteous forces in Si Shui Dao are just the scant manpower from Qingshu Sect and Guiyuan Sect. Moreover, The horse keeper and the other two heavenly sect nascent souls are trapped in the emperor's mausoleum bearing the heavenly tribulation for days. Lives undecided. In just a few days, all of Si Shui Dao will completely fall. Leave now or really die hopelessly. Chao Xie trapped in the emperor's tomb? For Chen Sansi, this counts as good news. If Chao dies there, naturally everything solves itself. Of course, he couldn't place hope of eliminating enemies on external forces. Rather, he must earnestly tread his own path. Not wasting any more words, Chen Sansi brought Lord Taishan and fled back to Qingshu sect in Huayang Dao at the fastest pace. Handing Jiang Xie to the care of senior martial sister, he then entered secluded healing within his cave mansion. The flame gifted by Dugu Ao had miraculous effects in healing. Within half a year eased Chen Sansi's most severe injuries ever. Divine skill. Tai Yin Qinghua life and death flame. Incomplete. First rank upper scroll. Progress. 45 to 500. After healing injuries, he began preparing core formation. A cultivator needs to pass 3 gates to form a golden core. Firstly, temper the body. Secondly, question the heart. Thirdly, minor heavenly tribulation. All 3 inseparable. Golden core formation failure means the future road is blocked lightly, while severely dying and the path vanishing. Thus, before core formation, cultivators must adjust their spirit to the best state. This took exactly a year. In May of Tian Wu's 24th year. Finally, Chen Sansi was ready to begin core formation. During this, the latest situation of Si Shui Dao shocked the entire cultivation world. Originally, since the time of Great Song's Renzong, successive emperors began cultivating the mysterious corpse of the Nether Tower, returning to the origin technique. Training such a cultivation technique allows the body to continue cultivating even post-mortem, accumulating enough to directly transfer cultivation to the direct bloodline's physical form, growing stronger through successive refinements. Emperor Tianqi, through this cultivation technique, refined a nascent soul realm corpse puppet and transferred the nascent soul heavenly tribulation onto people like Chao Xie. In that war, the 3 heavenly sect envoys, Pure Yangzi fell and the path vanished. Yun Shuzi's nascent soul emerged and fled heavily wounded. Only Chao Xie returned intact, even slaying the immortal Ba Sect's sect masters with Cho Daoist. After this, Si Shui Dao was completely overrun, becoming a demon path territory. Great Song Court commanding a mortal-made army, formally beginning the siege on Sky-Water Continent. And, this army's numbers ever increasing, soon reaching millions, still continuing to grow. Additionally, the demon clan fully cooperated, various high-realm cultivators exerted simultaneously. The border wall teetered on the brink of total collapse. Heavenly water in peril. For these, Chen Sansi couldn't intervene for the time being, preparing to wholeheartedly seclude cultivation, first breaking through to the Golden Core realm. Shansher. Outside the cave mansion, a kindly but authoritative female voice resounded. Chen Sansi, who was about to begin seclusion, collected his thoughts and came to the entrance of the cave mansion, cupping his hands and saying, "I didn't know you were coming, Master. What guidance do you have for me? I just returned from the demon-slaying Great Wall." With a hint of apology in her tone, Master Yu Ling said, "The affair with Shi Yu is my responsibility. I almost caused you to lose your life. Master, you don't need to blame yourself." Chen Sansi paused. "But Master should have warned me in advance." "I had my reasons," Master Yu Ling admitted. "Your senior sister was too badly injured and could no longer bear the burden of the jade pendant sealing the demon seed. I had no one else I could trust, so I had you and Shi Yu watch over each other. Upon learning that the situation at Si Shui Dao was dire, I wrote to the Supreme Elder, hoping he could come personally to fetch you two back. Unfortunately, it was still a step too late. This matter truly is my fault. Luckily, my senior sister and I returned without harm." Chen Sansi paused. "But Master, could you tell me, what exactly is the demonic chi within my senior sister?" "Shansher, this matter must be kept strictly confidential. You cannot speak of it to anyone outside." With a solemn expression, Master Yu Ling cautioned, "If necessary, you must cleanse your divine soul and erase this memory yourself. and absolutely let no one know. Otherwise, not only you but the entire Qingshu sect would face a catastrophic disaster. Do you understand? This serious? Chen Sansi thought carefully, feeling it made sense. A late-stage foundation establishment cultivator able to suddenly elevate their realm to the late-stage nascent soul, and judging by the momentum at that time, advancing to divinity transformation wasn't impossible. Indeed, it overturned common perception. He wasn't afraid of water boiling a dead pig, his own body possessing too many unspeakable secrets, so he didn't fear adding one more. Your senior sister said. Master Yuling inquired. There was a cultivator wearing a fox mask who saved you and she you at the time? Indeed. Chan Sansi truthfully replied. It was Dugu Ao from the demon-slaying sect. Master, are you acquainted with this person? Dugu Ao? Master Yuling thought for a while, eventually shaking her head. I know very little about him. Only that he suddenly appeared many years ago as a fake pill sword cultivator. To think he had such great divine skills, able to temporarily suppress Shiyu. There are quite a few peculiar people in the demon-slaying sect. By the way, she shifted the topic. You've obtained the creation Jade Dew? Are you preparing to go into seclusion to form your core? To answer, Master, Chan Sansi said. I was just about to begin my seclusion. Come with me, Master Yuling said, turning gently and floating away. Chen Sansi followed closely behind. The two of them ascended from the bottom of Baihua Valley to the mountaintop, the surrounding environment becoming increasingly fragrant with flowers in bloom. Countless colorful flowers bloomed in the wind, multicolored spirit butterflies dancing like Earth's spirit elves. The entrance to a cave mansion was hidden among lush flowers. In front of the cave mansion, a young Taoist of 16 was holding a broom, sweeping away the petals and fallen leaves on the ground. Brother Lu, long time no see. He greeted warmly with a smile. Long time no see. Chan Sansi nodded and responded, following Master into the cave mansion. The interior of the cave mansion was simply furnished, with only the most basic arrangements and a seclusion room. But the place Master intended to take him was evidently not here. Upon reaching the end of the cave mansion, Master Yuling elegantly formed gestures and chanted a spell. Accompanied by a rumbling sound, the wall in front slowly opened, revealing a dim passageway. Reaching the end of the passageway, they discovered a small transmission array. Where is this going to take me? Chun Sansi wondered secretly. Master Yuling adeptly took out the transmission array token and spirit stone, then activated the formation. With a feeling of the world spinning, once Chun Sansi's vision returned to normal, they found themselves in a completely different world. As far as the eye could see, there were green mountains and clear water, and their location was an endless pond. A faint mist spread throughout, enveloping the entire world within. No, this wasn't mist, but spiritual energy. The spiritual energy was so dense that it formed a visible entity. The grade of the spirit vein here was likely close to the pinnacle of the 4th rank. Just then, night descended. Under the dark moonlight over the jade marrow-carved mountain gate, the entire lotus pond came alive. The pond's surface seemed not to be water, but solidified moon marrow. Clusters of golden lotus relaxed their petals amidst the silver waves. The veins within the leaves flowing with spirit light formed from condensed star shards. At the center, the twin lotus stretched over a meter wide, one blue and one purple bud exhaling chaotic spirit chi, each petal's dew condensing into jade midair, jingling as it fell into the pond's depths. Just being here, Chun Sansi felt a sense of tranquility, his spirit climbing to new heights. This place was perhaps the cave heaven-blessed land recorded in the classics, a true cave heaven-blessed land. This place is called the Lotus-Blessed Land. In a quiet tone, Master Yuling explained, cultivating here significantly reduces the intrusion of heart demons, aids in refining the physical body, even weakens the power of the heavenly tribulation by a margin. For your upcoming seclusion to form your core, you will temporarily remain in the Lotus-Blessed Land. Additionally, regarding the swallowing fire technique you cultivate, I have found a volume for you. You may keep it. Thank you, Master. Receiving the jade scroll, Chun Sansi probed it with his divine sense, confirming there were no issues with the cultivation technique, felt a significant relief. Coupled with the cave heaven-blessed land, his core formation was almost guaranteed to succeed. It's indeed a nice feeling to have backing. This core formation breakthrough is practically a free pass for him. Alright, you can peacefully go into seclusion. Master will safeguard you from outside. Master Yuling stepped on a golden lotus and gradually moved away, until her silhouette disappeared at the edge of the pond. Chun Sansi stepped forward, flying onto the twin lotus throne at the core area of the pond. Sitting cross-legged, focusing his mind, and began to circulate his cultivation technique within. The first stage, refine the physical body. The three spiritual objects for core formation are Fire Ganoderma, Moonlight Golden Bellflower, and Creation Jade Dew. The first two are used to refine the physical body. Two heavenly materials and earthly treasures flew out from the storage ring, hovering before Chun Sansi. He opened his mouth wide and swallowed them into his abdomen. With the circulation of the cultivation technique, Fire Ganoderma and Moonlight Golden Bellflower were instantly refined into an innate essence energy, merging into his limbs, bones, and 8 extraordinary meridians, cleansing the mortal flesh. Meanwhile, the lotus throne beneath Chun Sansi began to emit a 7-colored spirit light, raising streams of clear water from the pond that nurtured his heavenly spirit, occasionally seeing golden koi leap across, resembling divine dragons spiraling. His physical body started to undergo a transformation. The impure energy transformed into filaments of contaminated energy, bursting out from his nostrils and mouth. The body resonates with heaven and earth, absorbing the heavenly Tao laws, leaving ant-like golden patterns on the surface of his flesh and bones. Next, it's a matter of repeating this process step by step until the meridians also undergo transformation. Under multiple supports, Chun Sansi faced no hindrances in the first stage, smoothly achieving success in refining. Immediately after comes the second stage, heart trial. In his dantian, the magic sea surged with waves, stirring up turbulent emotions. His mind started replaying scenes from the moment he arrived in Piyang County like a revolving lantern. Tax officers collecting taxes, Qin Xiong visiting, targeting by selected point immortal treasure mystery, until leading people across the Yangtze River for crossings of Hongzhe. Searching his conscience, Chun Sansi walked all the way with a clear heart. Previously, he embarked on the long path of cultivation for the purpose of establishing himself in a world of chaos. Now, he continues to strive, first for himself to reach higher places, then for countless lost souls and the citizens who chose him. Without the support of the people along the way, there wouldn't be the Xianzhu mystical energy, nor the heavenly book array, nor a series of victories. Perhaps he would have died outside Hulao Pass, died in the northern Great Desert, died on the banks of Feishui River. What Chun Sansi could do is to try his best to maintain the current peace of Eastern continent, not to betray people's trust, the great Han's loyal souls, and his master's spirit watching from the heavens. He has no heart demon, only unwavering determination. He breezes through the heart trial stage effortlessly. Boom! At the moment Chun Sansi passed the heart trial, a deafening crash resonated beside his ears. His body uncontrollably plummeted, falling into another dimension. In his dantian, the magic sea completely lost control, no longer bearing the boundless inclusivity of a sea of all rivers, replaced by rampant and savage devouring. The meridians began to ache painfully. Mana became chaotic. If it weren't for the initial refining of the physical body with meridians absorbing heavenly Tao laws creating a transformation, a cultivator would explode and die at this step. The lotus throne beneath him activated once more. The gentle 7-colored spirit light entered his body, soothing the violent mana. Seizing the moment, Chun Sansi operated the slightly modified, swallowing fire technique, finally calming the end-of-the-world tsunami. Not long after that, in the deepest section of the vast sea, a dazzling spirit light suddenly erupted, like a golden star submerged in the seabed for eons, now unable to be restrained, rising gradually from the abyss. Centered on the golden star, forming a bottomless whirlpool. Like beneath the magic sea lies an endless abyss, or lurking a Tao-Tai divine beast, greedily absorbing the waters of the magic sea. The whirlpool expanded larger and larger. Under its devouring, the surface lowered swiftly, transforming from vast ocean to rolling Yangtze River, then into rushing river water until becoming a trickling stream, ultimately drying out the final drop of seawater. Only then could be seen. The one devouring the magic sea wasn't an infinite abyss, nor a Tao-Tai giant beast, but a dazzling golden core like a blazing sun. Golden core. Achieved. Boom! A thunderous sound roared, and heaven and earth started to transform dramatically. Chun Sansi suddenly opened his eyes, raising his head to look, only to see the once clear and boundless sky of the Lotus Treasure Land suddenly gather massive dark clouds. Behind the rolling clouds, fierce roars echoed repeatedly. This is the wrath of the heavenly Tao. Crack! The dark clouds surged and raced, transforming into a majestic divine beast covering the sky and sun, opening its abyssal maw, spewing purple heavenly thunder. The final stage, after core formation, minor heavenly tribulation, 9 heavenly thunders. Chun Sansi was well prepared. He didn't dodge. His flesh, bones, and meridians lit up with law runes, his whole being transformed into a light of escape rushing upwards. Approaching the heavenly thunder, even without fear in his heart. His body began to tremble, hair bristling upright. This is truly terrifying. Open! Chun Sansi shouted loudly. A pink lotus petal spirit light bloomed brightly. 1 into 2, 2 into 4, ultimately forming a complete lotus shield, floating above his head. Transformation blessing lotus. Also a gift from Master to specifically resist the heavenly tribulation. Boom! The first heavenly thunder struck down. Chun Sansi hid behind the blessing lotus, feeling like holding a shield being hammered by a giant hammer, his body diving down, but he wasn't inflicted with any substantial harm. Boom! The second heavenly thunder arrived in rapid succession. The blessing lotus successfully withstood it, merely showing a tiny crack. The third one, fourth one. With each heavenly thunder strike, the damage on the blessing lotus petals expanded further. After enduring the 7th heavenly thunder, the surface cracks had become like a spider's web. Dong! Finally, the blessing lotus shattered completely. Nothing stood before Chun Sansi. The 9th heavenly thunder fell subsequently, containing the collective wrath of the heavenly Tao, layered across 8 times, more intense than the initial wave. Long Dan bright silver spear emerged quietly. Burning sky fire enveloped his entire body, turning Chun Sansi into an ascending heavenly divine dragon, directly confronting the heavenly thunder. The divine dragon howled in agony and dissipated. The flames on his body extinguished in an instant, limbs weakly drooped, plummeting straight down into the lotus-blessed land from the heights. The lotus throne again revealed its might. The dewdrops on the petals fell like a gentle rain onto Chun Sansi, within a few breaths healing the minor injuries from resisting the heavenly thunder. Meanwhile, above the heavens, the divine beast took one last glance at the human cultivator on the ground, then completely dissolved, along with the rolling dark clouds slowly dispersing. The tribulation ended. In an instant, Chun Sansi felt his mana surging within. The scope of divine sense expanded several times over. From this moment, he is truly a core formation cultivator. Cultivation technique. Swallowing fire technique. Golden core early stage. Progress. 0/500. Utility. Melt fire. Melt fire. Golden core formed. Taoist technique multiplies. Can merge fire within the body, creating abnormal fire. Melt fire. Chun Sansi had long felt that although his body housed many fires, they weren't able to simultaneously exhibit their full potential, only limited in various situations. He immediately sat cross-legged, forming seals with his hands like shadows, left hand burning sky fire, right hand 10,000 beast fierce fire. Between the two flames, a Bagua Dharma seal appeared. The Bagua Dharma seal devouring the two flames began spinning, shattering the laws contained within the two fires, then remerging them, transforming into a brand new flame. Burning sky intense flame. In the palm of Chun Sansi, the crimson flame transformed into countless divine beasts galloping without end. This flame possesses the attributes of both burning sky fire and 10,000 beast fierce fire, not only capable of burning the opponent's mana, but also containing the combined power of the two flames. Chun Sansi experienced it firsthand. The process of melting fire feels more like a devouring than a fusion, akin to a big fish eating a small fish. Given that the burning sky fire is superior to the 10,000 beast fierce fire in both rarity and overall power, it thus devours the latter. Additionally, within Chun Sansi's body, there are the Yin Soul Netherworld Fire and the Tai Yin Qinghua Life and Death Flame. He once again formed a hand seal to cast spells, attempting to fuse these two types of flames as well, a process that went relatively smoothly. The Yin Soul Netherworld Fire within the mere second-tier magic artifact naturally couldn't compare to the Tai Yin Qinghua Life and Death Flame. Thus it was devoured by the latter. After the devouring, the name of Tai Yin Qinghua Life and Death Flame did not change but split into Life and Death Flames, controlled at will, with Life Flame for healing and Death Flame for enemy slaying. However, when Chun Sansi tried to continue, he couldn't manage it. He was unable to fuse the flames that had just been devoured and evolved, presumably due to insufficient mastery of the swallowing fire technique. Finally succeeding in forming a golden core, Chun Sansi's state of mind became more relaxed. He did not stop, but took out the Longdan bright silver spear from his storage ring and began to forge ahead with the cultivation of the dragon scripture. The creation jade dew integrated into his body when the golden core condensed in his dantian, and at this moment, his meridians still had residual effects, cleansing his 5 organs repeatedly with the rich spiritual energy from the lotus-blessed land. Along the sides of Chun Sansi's spine, the kidney among the 5 vital organs gradually undergoes a transformation, turning into a translucent glaze. After forming the golden core, the surfaces of his internal organs bear imprints of Lo runes of the great Tao, coupled with a glazed luster, resembling a peerless treasure of the immortal realm. Cultivation technique, dragon scripture, true power perfection. Progress, 0 to 0. Utility, blood-burning tribulation. Blood-burning tribulation. Flames entwine the body. Blood transforms into molten flames. Drive power with blood burst. True power surges. Blood can incinerate magical treasures, temporarily stripping them of spiritual quality. Chun Sansi understood this as the martial arts version of the blood-burning technique, able to enhance the strength of true power by burning essence blood. And in this state, true power can also affect the enemy's magical artifacts. Next, he should cultivate towards the glazed golden body realm. The subsequent cultivation method is absent and still needs to be obtained from Lord Taishan. Besides, after forming the golden core, his magic artifacts are somewhat insufficient. The Longdan bright silver spear, left by his master, essentially belongs to a second-tier magic artifact. Fortunately, the base materials are excellent. It's a growth-type lifebound magical artifact, needing only additional materials for remelting later to ascend into a magical treasure. The material of the Dragon Abyss Sword is even better, but likewise needs upgrading to becoming a magical treasure. The materials used for upgrading to a magical treasure will determine their future power. Therefore, they must not be handled carelessly. Chun Sansi kept this matter in mind, stowed away the 2 weapons, and ended this period of seclusion. After leaving the lotus-blessed land, he did not see Master Yuling, but instead found a young Taoist alone tending to spirit plants at the entrance to the cave mansion. Congratulations, Brother Lu, on your breakthrough to the Golden Core realm. The young Taoist cupped his hands to offer congratulations. The number of Golden Core cultivators in the entire Qingshu sect is no more than 2 handfuls. Brother Lu forms a Golden Core at such a young age. Theoretically, you now have the qualifications to open your own peak, and your future is promising. Brother 16 flatters me. Chun Sansi calmly responded, how many great power cultivators exist at Skywater Continent? The 12 nascent soul upper sects are unfathomable, not to mention the time-honored 3 heavenly sects. My mere cultivation is insignificant. This mirrors his true thoughts. Even after forming a golden core, he still can't deal with the horse slave lingering opportunistically behind. At most, when facing the Guiyuan sect again, he won't need to fear Huang Laojiu and be able to think of avenging fourth brother. Chen Sansi searched Baihua Valley but could not find his master's wife's whereabouts, so he had to ask around. The young Taoist replied, Master Yu Ling and the Supreme Elder received a mandate from the Holy Sect and left several days ago. Is it still due to the border warfare? Chen Sansi inquired about the situation. He had been in seclusion forming his corps for nearly a year. It's still April of the 25th year of Tianwu. It's been over 2 years since the Great Chaos in Sishui Dao. Since then, Sky-Water Continent has successively lost several Dao areas, and among the 24 golden core sects, a full 4 sects have tragically been exterminated. The Sky-Water Continent line is now tight, and the Great Wall to ward off demons teeters on the brink of collapse. The main reason is the sudden joining by the mortal army. They're referred to as blood demons. These blood demons are humans who transform after death, feeding on flesh. Once they accumulate to a certain number, they can exhibit powers comparable to the heavenly book array through various formations. Relying on a strategy of overwhelming numbers, they can deal with the predominantly chi-refining cultivators without issues. In the situation where the number of high-realm cultivators on both sides of the right and demon paths is about similar, the extra blood demons become crucial for determining victory. If the Great Wall cannot hold, Sky-Water Continent will surely face devastation. Once controlling vast lands and populations, the demon path forces will rapidly expand, eventually overpowering the righteous path. Alas! Talking to this point, the young Taoist sighed. I only lament my shallow cultivation, unable to shoulder responsibility and contribute to heavenly Tao righteousness. Let's not discuss it. Brother Lu, I too need to refine myself. Before long, we disciples of Qingshu sect will likely head en masse to the front lines, and recently we've been marginalized. The days ahead will surely be difficult. Marginalized? Chen Sansi felt puzzled. Did the Supreme Elder not just step into the mid-stage nascent soul? Shouldn't the sect's position be rising? In theory, that's the case, but the world's resources are limited. The young Taoist said, if our Qingshu sect wants to become the 13th nascent soul sect, it will inevitably lead to a reduction in resources for the other nascent soul sects. And in the future, if we move our sect, the 4th-rank spiritual veins will also have to be shared with them. How could they be willing? Though there's turmoil in the world, the prestigious sects still fight openly and in secret. I really don't understand them. He sighed as he walked away with a broom in hand. Chen Sansi pondered over the information. Although he was worried about these matters, relying on his strength alone might not have any effect at the moment. On his way down the mountain, he found the Qingshu sect indeed desolate and empty, as most disciples had been reassigned to the Great Wall to fight against the demon path. If he stayed any longer, he might also receive a transfer order. But if he left and never returned, looking for high-level spiritual veins for cultivation in the future would also be a troublesome task. Chen Sansi decided not to think about these for now, bought some good wine and meats, and headed straight to a secluded and desolate courtyard. As expected, Lord Taishan was not at home. He had just left the sect and went to the nearest mortal tavern to the Qingshu sect to meet a few subordinates. The purple ling ma lutsao and 1,000-year light bamboo leaves that Lord Taishan had earlier requested had been cultivated after many years and were ready to be delivered over. Arriving at the Shaoxiang sect, after a few inquiries, Chen Sansi finally learned that the other party was in a fairy cave named Xianyu Cave. He knocked on the stone gate, and after a while, saw Mu Chutai, disheveled, staggering out of the cave. Why is it you? Lord Taishan said very impatiently. Say what's important quickly or hold your breath. You've disturbed my good time. Chen Sansi took out a storage bag. Senior, I brought the things you asked for. Mu Chutai grabbed the storage bag, carefully checked it, then rudely put it in his arms, waved his hand and said, All right, you can get lost now. Chen Sansi added, Please, Senior, teach me the dragon scripture golden body scroll. Lord Taishan glared. Why should I teach you? Chen Sansi froze for a moment. Didn't you promise before Senior. You fool. A soft, sultry voice drifted into his ears. A beautiful and enchanting female cultivator came out from the cave. She playfully scolded, came to the front of the white robe, and whispered, "How can you ask someone to teach you without calling them master?" Chun Sansi immediately understood Lord Taishan's meaning. All along, he had called the other party a senior, not a master, partly because of the other's unclear attitude and partly because this person's behavior and reputation really didn't resemble that of an elder. But actually, a teacher is someone who imparts knowledge, even if it's just one aspect. They should indeed be respectfully called master. And solely from the aspect of teaching, Lord Taishan is an absolutely qualified instructor. As a seeker of knowledge, he had no right to posture. He might as well take this master. Chun Sansi was bold and fearless, even if his master caused trouble in the future. If worse came to worst, he'd just send him to the eastern continent. Moreover, it's said that Lord Taishan is a lifelong friend of Sun Xiangzong, so it won't disrupt the seniority. Thinking of this, he no longer hesitated. He bowed on the spot and proclaimed loudly, "Disciple Lu Shangji greets master. Now you want to be an apprentice?" Mu Chutai sneered. "Too late." Saying this, he made a move to leave. The beautiful fairy pulled him back, gently persuading, "Chutai, didn't you say before? This child's nature is okay. He withstands the grind, and will be a talent in the future. Moreover, I think this child, the reason why he didn't take you as a master before, was that he values the master-disciple relationship heavily and needs to consider carefully. Now that he's proactively taking you as a mentor, it must be out of genuine respect for you. Why not accept him and avoid letting your skills be lost?" After being persuaded, Lord Taishan finally nodded. He snorted coldly. "If it weren't for Zhang's stubbornness, I wouldn't take you. Aren't you going to thank your mistress for pleading on your behalf?" "Thank you, teacher's wife." Chun Sansi complied. "I am not the teacher's wife." Immortal Jing Shu gently pushed Lord Taishan away with a jade finger in disdain, and he said thick-skinnedly, "It's only a matter of time, only a matter of time." "All right." Immortal Jing Shu smiled. "Lu Shengji, don't stand on ceremony. Come in and talk." Unlike the simple abode of Master Yu Ling, Xianyu Cave was exquisitely and elegantly furnished. All furniture and utensils were made of thousand-year-old Tinglong wood, providing the cultivator with calming and nourishing properties for meridians. Jing Shu, Mu Chutai followed behind, fawning like a lapdog. "My rebellious disciple came unexpectedly. Would that disrupt your peace? I find you noisy." Immortal Jing Shu sighed lightly. "You stay here and teach your student, and I'll go rest for a bit." All right, all right, all right." Mu Chutai nodded repeatedly. "My disciple just got ma lutsao. I'll send it to you later." Before he could finish speaking, Immortal Jing Shu disappeared. "A 3,000-year-old ma lutsao. Is it really for pleasing a woman?" Chun Sansi was not overly surprised either. Everyone in the Shaoxiang sect knew that Lord Taishan was a fervent admirer of Immortal Jing Shu. Over the years, most of the fairy stipend given to him by the Qingshu sect was basically spent here. "You boy!" After the female cultivator left, Lord Taishan turned around, surveyed the young man, and said sternly, "Here to ask for cultivation techniques? Please instruct, master." Chun Sansi bowed heavily. "No rush. As your master, I must first check the foundation of your true power realm is solid or not." Mu Chutai sat down on a white mink fur-covered deer antler, took a swig from his wine gourd. "Use the dragon scripture to practice your swordsmanship for me. Disciple understands." Chun Sansi drew Dragon Abyss and began to demonstrate his swordsmanship using extreme divine power. This assessment lasted for a full 10 days. He practiced his swordsmanship from Mao hour until midnight, then meditated and adjusted his breath before starting the cycle again. During the process, Lord Taishan would occasionally give pointers while watching him as if enjoying a dance, with no other actions. "Passable," he called to stop. "Remember what I said, from now on, any cultivation technique is created by people and people are different. You must modify it to suit yourself the best. Next, I'll teach you the dragon scripture. Glazed golden body scroll, the same as before. For each thing I say, you have to guess the rest. Guess wrong. And you'll take a knife and cut a piece of flesh off yourself as a reminder. This teaching lasted for a full 2 months. The golden body realm technique, if written on paper, would only be a few pages, but to scrutinize it word by word takes much more than several times the effort. Chun Sansi had long understood that this method was to improve his own comprehension, so he naturally took it seriously. But the dragon scripture, a cultivation technique left by ancient great powers, is not so easily comprehended. After 2 months, his body was covered in knife marks, bleeding profusely. Skill. Reading, great success. Progress, 506/2000. This method indeed significantly improved his skill proficiency in reading. Upon reciting the last sentence of the cultivation technique, Lord Taishan began formally imparting his teachings. Martial cultivation, breaking the laws with force, going against the heavens, transforming a mortal body into supreme divine power. Magic cultivation relies on external force, while martial cultivation can only continuously temper the body to reach a higher state, and the glazed golden body realm is no exception. To refine the golden body, it requires certain heavenly materials and earthly treasures, which I'll talk about later. Today, I'll focus on telling you the essential insights and methods. Within the human cultivator's body, not only are there hundreds of divine joints, but the 3 barriers and 9 orifices hidden within the Ren, Du, and Chong meridians can also form a small world. Once you master this small world, the body can resonate with the heavenly Tao laws, achieving the glazed golden body. These 3 passes and 9 orifices refer to the first 3 fields, the latter 3 passes, and the 3 orifices. To step into the early stage of the glazed golden body realm, you must first clear the latter 3 passes. These 3 passes are the tailbone pass, the spine pass, and the jade pillow pass. The human body has 360 bone joints and 84,000 pores. Only by passing the 3 passes can you coordinate with the 3 fields and 3 orifices, refining them one by one. Alright, you can start practicing now. Chun Sansi closed his eyes, recalling every word of the cultivation technique in his mind, slowly raised the long spear, and began to practice intently, until the familiar panel gradually appeared in front of his eyes. Cultivation technique, dragon scripture, true power perfection. Progress, 0/300. He could clearly sense the location of the latter 3 passes, but no matter how he used true power to cleanse them, it had no effect. This is the spiritual object you lack. Lord Taishan informed him. To forge a golden body, you must use Fu Shi black sand to completely destroy your flesh body and extract the golden body from it. During the process, you also need the beast blood of the green blood sacrifice to repair your flesh body. Both are indispensable. If you fail, your flesh will directly become a pile of bleached bones under the washing of Fu Shi black sand, resulting in immediate death and oblivion. As for where to find the Fu Shi black sand and the blood of the green blood sacrifice, you'll have to inquire yourself. Why are you still standing here? Go about your tasks. Thank you, Master, for your instruction. Chun Sansi clasped his fists and turned to leave. Buzz! The stone gate opened and closed again, as immortal Jing Shu emerged from the depths of the cave mansion. Her attitude towards Mu Chutai had undergone a complete transformation, from playful disdain to gentle and virtuous. Holding a jade plate filled with spirit fruits in her left hand and a wine jug in her right. This child is not bad. Immortal Jing Shu praised. Lord Taishan has taught him well. He will surely become a great asset in the future. The temperament is okay. The rest is mediocre. Mu Chutai was no longer flattering, taking a sip of wine and saying in a deep voice, "Do you have spirit stones? Give me some." Immortal Jing Shu took out a full bag of top-grade spirit stones. The spirit plants that Lord Taishan wanted. I've also prepared. Good. Thank you for your effort. Mu Chutai grabbed the storage bag and rose to head towards the depths of the cave mansion. Don't disturb me unless it's urgent. There's indeed something important. Immortal Jing Shu paused and said, The sealing of the eastern continent is about to fail. Lord Taishan stopped. When did this happen? Just recently, we observed the Mang Mountain ancestor vein's earlier revival, likely soon undermining the sealing from its foundation. Immortal Jing Shu said worriedly, if the eastern continent is lost, there's no telling what the holy sect might find there. The ancestor vein is probably just a decoy. I understand. Mu Chutai didn't say more as his figure was engulfed in shadows. Chun Sansi had just stepped out of the Shao Xiang sect's gate when he saw a blue bird circling above, carrying a letter. After a brief review, he returned to a mortal tavern near the Qingshu sect. Shangguan Siheng had been waiting there for some time. He clasped his fists in greeting. Congratulations, Taoist, on forming your golden core. Brother Shangguan will soon reach it too, right? Chun Sansi wasted no words. What pressing matter brought you to see me today, Taoist? With the demon path rampant, Great Wall is under pressure. You must have heard, Mr. Chan, so? Shangguan Siheng also got straight to the point. I came to ask His Majesty Tianwu to send forces to Heavenly Water. Deploy forces? Chun Sansi didn't rush to respond. Mr. Chan. Shangguan Siheng stood up, speaking emotionally. If Great Wall breaks, it will be disastrous. As cultivators, how can we sit idly by? Only by deploying the Great Han's heavenly soldiers and generals can we confront the Blood Demon army. Chun Sansi leaned silently against the chair, rhythmically tapping the armrest with his fingers. Seeing this, Shangguan Siheng spoke anxiously. Do you mean to watch the heavenly Tao collapse and do nothing, Mr. Chun? Brother Shangguan, Chun Sansi replied quietly. From my heart, I certainly wish to help the heavenly water creatures. But what about the 36 sects of heavenly water? Would they agree? Do not forget, I'm a wanted fugitive of the holy sect. Even if I deploy forces to heavenly water and fight the blood demon army, what do I gain? Using the lives of my brothers to reduce the losses of the heavenly water sect. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Shangguan Siheng fell into contemplation. What you say is reasonable. But what if Mr. Chun could form a temporary alliance with the holy sect, setting terms like a mutual agreement that heavenly water won't attack Great Han anymore? From now on, each remains in their own domain. Brother Shangguan jokes. Chun Sansi was skeptical. They've coveted the ancestor vein for years. How could they easily give up? It's entirely possible. Shangguan Siheng earnestly said, maybe you're not aware of the severity of the situation, Mr. Chan. If the demon path invades heavenly water, occupying numerous spirit veins, they might kill for immediate benefits, using life and spirit veins to form an ancient demon array. Then, the entire righteous path would face a survival crisis. Under such circumstances, even if they covet the ancestor vein, the holy sect might agree to some conditions to exchange for Great Han's help. Taoist, you can try. Chun Sansi rose and said, if there's a response, you can send someone to find me in Chang'an. He didn't linger much longer, leaving the tavern without returning to the Qingshu sect, transforming into a stream of escape light, disappearing at the horizon's end. The imperial court, there's trouble. The earlier bluebird not only brought news of Shangguan Siheng seeking an audience, but also delivered a cabinet memorial. 20 days later, Mang Mountain. Sima Lan bowed respectfully. Beside him stood a youthful and vigorous general, with familiar features between his eyebrows. This was Wei Xian's great-nephew Wei Yi. He reported, Your Majesty, over the past month, the spiritual energy of Mang Mountain's ancestor vein has continuously risen, and if this continues, it might soon transform into a first-rank spirit vein. Time waits for no one. Chun Sansi looked at the sky, at the faintly visible ceiling fissure, and closed his eyes heavily. He formed his golden core at the mere age of 49, an achievement that is as rare as phoenix feathers in the cultivation world over the millennia. Lord Taishan formed his golden core at 47. But it should be noted, Chun Sansi did not start cultivating from childhood, but only embarked on the immortal path in his 20s, leaving a gap of 10 years. Removing those 10 years, Perhaps no one could achieve faster cultivation. But still, it is not enough. At minimum, he must reach nascent soul and form a troop of heavenly soldiers and generals with nascent soul cultivators to qualify to protect a region in the cultivation world. A conservative estimate for a 100-year-old nascent soul still requires another 50 years. That being said, he indeed needs to find a way, using the righteous demonic war, to negotiate with the Heavenly Water Saint sect, to buy more time. Keep a close watch here and report to me immediately with any developments. After giving this instruction, Chun Sansi took to the air once again. Having not returned for several years, even though he could handle political affairs through a puppet, he ultimately needed to see things personally. In Skywall City, heavenly soldiers and generals undergo a review. Since acquiring the Emperor's breath soil, the court has abundant resources, and with the aid of spirit-gathering arrays, parts of Skywall City can reach pseudo-second-tier spirit energy concentration, naturally elevating the cultivation of servants. Wang Ji, Deng Feng, and other martial arts practitioners of this generation have all advanced to the true power middle stage. The most outstanding among them being Sima Yao and the later up-and-comer Wang Li, who have already touched the brink of the true power late stage. Among the juniors, people like Su Kan are mostly true power warriors too. In terms of immortal path cultivators, Zhang Shun, Qi Chang, Dongfang Jingxing, Zhou Weizhen, and others are also about to break through to the late-stage foundation establishment, beginning preparations for core formation. Chu Lingchuan had long reached the late-stage foundation establishment, but lacking spiritual objects for core formation, came to request spirits upon learning of His Majesty's return. Fire Ganoderma and Ma Lutsao can be cultivated, but there's a shortage of creation jade dew. If it doesn't work, Chun Sansi plans to find a way to hunt a third-tier demon beast in the future and advised him to be patient and promised prioritization. Little Chengzi, remember? Even if Chu Lingchuan forms a core in the future, he should not be entrusted with important duties. The elderly Su Wenkai, needing assistance to walk, advised his disciple, "This person, back when stationed at Daisfang City in Beiyangdao, sold out his master for profit, raising prices multiple times with His Majesty, showing a clear lack of integrity. If that's the case," Qi Chang said, "why not just remove him entirely? This person may have good rank, but isn't it a waste to keep and even prepare core formation spiritual objects for him, according to His Majesty's intentions? Firstly, His Majesty has always been a man of his word," Su Wenkai earnestly instructed. Secondly, if he is removed now, which Tianshui practitioner would dare defect to the Han dynasty in the future? Keeping him is akin to buying a horse's bones with 1,000 gold coins. "I understand, Master," Qi Chang pondered aloud. "Little Chengzi," Su Wenkai spoke sincerely, "aside from experience and temperament, you are no less than me in all other aspects. They gave you the nickname Young Qilin, but in my eyes, you are no longer immature." "Master, please don't speak like this," Qi Chang responded in fear and trepidation. "There is still much for a disciple to learn from the master. In terms of military tactics, strategy, governing, even in employing people, there's little left for me to teach you. However," Su Wenkai paused and said, "there is indeed a book that I should give you at the right opportunity." "A book?" Qi Chang asked curiously. "Is there still a book in Master's study that I haven't seen?" "Don't get too excited. It may not be anything good. Whether you learn from it or not will be up to you when the time comes." Langfeng Peak. This place belongs to the Han Dynasty court and is used to rear spiritual beasts. Chun Sansi left Chen Sun, Blue Bird, and White Jade Spirit Snake here to recuperate on their own. They have all reached the late stage of the mystical body state and are close to forming a demon core. Fortunately, the needed spiritual objects for core formation can be cultivated by the Emperor's breath soil, though surviving the heavenly tribulation will depend on them. Gu insect devouring magic cicada is still in the second-tier middle stage. Devouring the residual mana of deceased cultivators is the fastest way for it to advance. Unfortunately, prior in Sishuedao, whether on the public battlefield or in life-and-death encounters, Chun Sansi could not attend to feeding it and will have to find opportunities later. Skill: Beast Taming Mastery. Progress: 659/1000. Chun Sansi summoned a bow and arrow and aimed towards the distant mountain peak, beginning to shoot arrows continuously. In his spare time, he worked to improve various skills. The breakthrough of Arrow Tao divine skills was imminent. Boom, boom, boom. One by one, golden scale flying blades carried the vast mana of a golden core cultivator, humming as they flew out, each impact causing a violent mana explosion. Before long, the mountain peak in front of him was entirely leveled. Yet Chun Sansi did not stop. His archery speed increased, and his arm pulling the bowstring became a series of afterimages. From a distance, it seemed as if more than one arm was drawing the bow. Instead, 4 additional arms appeared. Those arms, first shadowy and indistinct, gradually became clearer until they turned into 4 golden light condensed arms. Divine skill, Arrow Tao, 2nd tier. Progress, 0/2000. Utility, Mysterious Spirit 6 arms. Mysterious Spirit 6 arms. Arrow Tao reaches a godlike level. The arrows unpredictable, achieving a sudden realization of Mysterious Spirit 6 arms, drawing the bow like rain. Simply put, exceeding the limits of shooting speed. Raising the purple thunder bow again, the 6 arms behind Chun Sansi drew the bowstrings like a gale. The arrows shot were dense enough to cover the sky, practically fighting like an army. The key is, it can be used for more than just shooting arrows. Clang! Many magic artifacts, summoned from the storage bag, appeared in the 6 hands, unpredictably attacking and defending in concert with extreme divine power, with consumption of mana being their only drawback. In just this short period, the technique drained nearly 30% of Chun Sansi's mana and true power, an astonishing result comparable to triple blood burning. Nevertheless, it was an unexpected delight. He put away the 4 arms behind him and looked at the bow and arrow in his hand. This bow and arrow, still at 2nd tier midgrade, could no longer match Chun Sansi's realm, limiting his ability to fully exert his power. He needed a replacement soon. Stowing the bow and arrow away, he took to the air down the mountain. In the royal palace, the Chun imperial family, rare to gather. Chun Yunshi, Su Yunhuan have both become foundation establishment cultivators. Chun Yunmei remains young, while Chen Yunchuan, in a few short years, reached the late stage of qi refining, nearing foundation establishment, displaying extraordinary talent. For the disciples, Su Kan and Yu Ji have both become true power warriors, and Yu Lai successfully established a foundation. Chun Sansi felt deeply gratified. He went to Prince Yu's residence to check on the eldest son's recent situation. Since the last time, Chun Due has secluded himself for several years. Even servants are no longer present, leaving it desolate. The sight left him somewhat worried. Boom! Just as Chun Sansi stepped over the threshold, the sound of something breaking through the air reached his ears. Father, would you dare face me with true power early stage? He turned his head to see the disheveled Chun Due's fist charging at him, enveloped in towering purple energy. Clearly, it was incense firepower, yet displayed through the circulation of martial arts technique. Incense fire martial arts, a success. All right, father. Come and see what you can do. Chun Sansi suppressed his cultivation to the true power early stage, then raised his hand to take the incoming punch, responding in kind. The 2 iron fists collided with a resounding crash, one side brimming with fiery fire element true power, the other surging with relentless incense fire mystical energy. After a brief stalemate, Chun Due voluntarily retreated half a step, and in the instant his hands came together, his black hair transformed into purple energy soaring into the sky, his pupils bursting out with a majestic purple glow. Between his brows, a green-gray mark appeared, resembling an incense burner formed from wisps of incense. His spine arched like a drawn crimson bow, his entire being transformed into a man-shaped sword edge, shooting skyward. Amidst the dispersing incense fire mystical energy, a distinctive crimson mystical energy suddenly erupted, delivering a punch as if a deity from the temple was descending to the mortal realm. Chun Sansi mobilized true power, the bones in his body emitting a crisp sound like molten lava flowing, delivering a punch skyward. as hot magma surged from the crack in the ground under his left foot. Under the constraint of realm suppression, the two engaged in what seemed like a back-and-forth exchange. This is incense fire divine power. Chun Sansi slowed his pace, felt the unique power within the child's body, and was somewhat surprised. Oh! As he was lost in thought, two more arms grew behind Chindue, turning two fists into four, the punch coming out invisible and unpredictable. Chun Sansi accompanied him with interest for a dozen rounds before saying, "Father can do this too. Mystical spirit 6 arms." Behind him, 4 additional arms suddenly rose, bathed in brilliant golden light, like a divine statue awakening. As the 6 arms appeared, Chun Duwei's pupils shrank sharply. He couldn't help but become flustered, and a slight lapse exposed his flaw, causing him to be struck in the chest and fly backward, crashing heavily into the courtyard paved with green stone bricks. "Father!" He clutched his chest, gritting his teeth as he said, "Where did your 6 arms come from?" Having realized incense fire martial arts, Chun Due was initially proud, but when it came to a real fight, even if his father disregarded cultivation, the gap between them in martial arts was like cloud and mud. "You, under 30, have already independently founded a sect. Truth be told, in terms of achievements, father is not your equal." Chun Sansi pulled his opponent up. "What you lack is the pure understanding of martial arts." Father and son sat on the ground, engaging in a rare conversation. Through understanding, Chun Sansi realized his perception was not wrong. In a certain sense, Due already embodied the incense fire divine spirit. Even if weak, he indeed counted. The biggest difference between incense fire divine Tao and conventional martial arts is no longer relying entirely on spiritual energy. As long as there is incense, one can cultivate. There are 2 ways to obtain incense. 1. Plundering the incense from other deities. 2. Establishing temples and accepting the incense offerings from all beings. "Father Emperor," Chun Due said, "the temple must be willingly built by the people. I plan to go to the cultivation world soon to do some things for the people there. This is your own path. As your father, I will not stop you." Chun Sansi said calmly, "But I hope you remember, no matter how high you climb in the future, never forget where your power comes from." "I know," Chun Due said blankly. "Although I am not like Father Emperor, who has the heart for the world and considers all living beings, I also understand the principle of borrowing and repaying favors. Since the incense is lent to me by them, I naturally will not turn it into calamity. It's good that you understand." Chun Sansi didn't continue the idle chat and led Prince Yu back to the palace for a family dinner. At the dining table, he watched his family enjoy themselves, though he barely touched his chopsticks. After a cultivator achieves core formation, they only occasionally consume fasting pills and no longer need to eat mortal grains. "Your Majesty," the Empress stood up to pour wine, asking softly, "Since you've returned this time, when do you plan to leave?" "I should stay for a while," Chun Sansi replied. "I can personally handle some state affairs and spend time with all of you." After the evening banquet, he rested in the Empress's chambers. The next day, he was in the imperial concubine's palace, spending time with his youngest daughter. This morning, wearing a long robe, Chun Sansi leaned over a table, meticulously handling array flags and array plates. The reason he didn't immediately return to heavenly water wasn't for the comfort of family gatherings. Quite the opposite, it was because the ancestor vein had begun to revive and the ceiling could break at any moment, prompting him to urgently solve the issue fundamentally. Extreme North, Destructive Spirit Array. Only by refining the Destructive Spirit Array and annihilating the Mang Mountain ancestor vein can the problem be truly resolved. Everything else is a temporary measure. To find the location of the Extreme North, he first needs to decipher the compass left by his master. Skill. Formation, 2nd tier. Progress, 649/1000. Before reaching 3rd tier in formations, Chun Sansi does not plan to return to heavenly water. At the same time, he sent people into Sky Water Continent to find and gather the items he needs. The spiritual objects required for the glazed golden body naturally go without saying. The Dragon Abyss Sword and Long Dan Bright Silver Spear also need new materials to be added and refined into magical treasures. Besides, the number of cultivators in Skywall City has already reached 10,000. But the official seal is still not complete, lacking a large amount of green crystal. These tasks can only proceed gradually. I just don't know how the upcoming war in Heavenly Water will develop. Thousands of miles away, at the core of Skywater Continent, immortal peaks stretch endlessly, 72 in total, collectively guarding the central, primary immortal mountain of Heavenly Water. The mountain towers 10,000 feet high, submerged in a sea of clouds, but its summit is not like ordinary mountain ranges, sharp as sword edges, but flat like a jade plate, as if once cleaved through the waist by a heaven-opening giant axe. Legend has it that in ancient times, Kunlun Mountain could directly connect to the upper realm, and Baiyujing, which once stood in the cultivation world, was established here. Later, when Kunlun Mountain collapsed, Baiyujing also vanished along with it, and what replaced it was the current holy sect Kungsu. The meaning of the two words Kungsu is essentially the ruins of Kunlun. But even as ruins, it remains an unparalleled, magnificent sight in the world. As far as the eye can see, the sect protection array breathes the eternal spirit light of thousands of years. The 81 coiled dragon pillars support the heavenly gang barrier, with ripples of a dark azure hue on their surface. The Tai Chi Yin-Yang fish crouches at the mountain gate, and the iron-cast Gua Yao floats amidst the sea of clouds, engraved with the maxims of the Chaos Tao scripture, dotted with 3,600 jade steps, resembling a long staircase to ascension. When the morning bell shatters the fog, the glazed eaves of the Yushu Palace can be faintly seen piercing through the clouds, while herds of 9-colored deer gallop across a galaxy formed by golden light inscriptions, tirelessly weaving through the 72 suspended corridor bridges. Inside the palace, shrouded in mist, 9 nascent soul cultivators sit cross-legged in the clouds, resembling immortals descending to the mortal world. They are the elders of the 3 heavenly sects, gathered here today to discuss various major affairs of Heavenly Water. Foremost among these is the deployment of war on the demon and demon clan front. This time it's really troublesome. An elder with an immortally graceful aura sighed while stroking his beard. The combined numbers of golden core cultivators in the demon and demon paths already surpass ours. Now, with the addition of the blood demon army, it's truly a bit difficult to deal with. In my old opinion, it would be better to abandon some spirit veins and land early to concentrate power on defending the crucial spirit veins. Absolutely not. A Taoist with a full face of bristles and a leopard head round eyes immediately said, "Dang old monster, are you scared already? Cutting 5 cities today and 10 tomorrow at this rate, the downfall of Heavenly Water righteous path might not be far away." Alas! Amid a cloud, a baby in a red bib sat upright, a worried expression on her small face. To this day, this old woman still can't believe the Zhao clan hid so deeply. This person is Elder Yun Shuzi of the Purple Sun Palace. In the past, her physical body was destroyed in the Imperial Mausoleum, only leaving behind her nascent soul to escape, without getting a chance to reshape her body. Since it's an irreversible fact that the great Song Zhao clan defected to the demon path, we should also select a new member to be the new imperial family of the immortal dynasty. Another nascent soul said, "After all, ever since the betrayal of the demon suppression department, demon cultivators have risen everywhere, creating chaos. If left unaddressed, the world will be riddled with wounds." Bai Hong Taoist friend has spoken correctly. Kungsu's sect leader Master Chongshu slowly spoke, his voice long and drawn out. "In this case, why don't each of you share your thoughts on recommendations for the new dynasty? We've discussed this topic before." The Gungjin Wanderer of the Purple Sun Palace said, "We pick from either the Chui family immortal clan, the Wang family immortal clan, or the Chao family immortal clan. I have something to say." The Heavenly Sword sect leader Wang Shoujua took over the conversation. The Chui family immortal clan has always been reclusive. If we support them in establishing the court, we might inadvertently repeat the Zhao clan's mistakes. And my Wang family descendants, fond of solitary cultivation, have never desired to found a sect or establish a sect. Among the three, the most suitable might only be my junior brother, the descendants of the Chao family of the heavenly killing true monarch. The Chao family originally came from mortal emperors. With this experience and combined with my junior brother's insufficient strength, if he is willing to take on the heavy responsibility, he can certainly quell the chaos quickly. Taoist Yun Shuzi, what do you think? Master Wang speaks with reason. Yun Shuzi, still in baby form, spoke in agreement. It's naturally troublesome to establish an immortal dynasty, and if Taoist heavenly killing is willing to take charge, we owe him thanks. I agree. I have no objections. Moreover, it was also the original intent of the upper realm immortals. No nascent soul present voiced any objections. Seeing this, Master Chongshu pondered for a moment, then laughed and said, "In that case, we shall assign this task to Taoist heavenly killing." In the corner, Chao Xie, who had been silent, rose. Master Chongshu issued orders to two Taoist children in the distance. Draft the Heavenly Water Sacred Order, abolish the old regime, establish dashing, and appoint the Chao family as the new imperial family to oversee all mortal affairs of heavenly water. All resources left by the former Song dynasty belong to the Chao family. Also select a fourth-rank spirit vein to grant to the Chao family. From now on, within the confines of heavenly water, the dashing immortal dynasty shall enjoy the same standing as the 12 upper sects. At this point, he paused, his pupils slightly narrowing, and continued with emphasis, Taoist heavenly killing. I hope you heed past lessons and do not betray everyone's trust. Chao Xie raised his hand and cupped his fists. I shall not fail the task. By the way, Master Chongshu changed the subject. Is the seal of Eastern Continent about to fail? Indeed, Chao Xie replied. According to my observations, the Mang Mountain ancestor vein has officially begun to awaken. The seal will be shaken soon, and we can start preparing to breach the array and be ready to invade Divine Continent at any time. If all the Taoist friends can trust me, perhaps I should handle this personally. That's precisely what I hoped for. Master Chongshu shook his head helplessly and said, Fate truly toys with us. If that land were still in the hands of Taoist heavenly killing's descendants, we wouldn't have needed this much trouble. I was too ignorant in my youth. Chao Xie's tone was remorseful. Back then, he merely saw it as a barren place devoid of spiritual energy. Since he sought cultivation, naturally, he could not be entangled with too many mortal affairs, so he abandoned it and left. Who could have thought it was hiding an ancestor vein? And that imperial jade seal was far from being as simple as he initially thought. So many opportunities, given for nothing as a wedding dress to another surnamed person. Thinking of this, Chao Xie's tone became more resolute. I will personally execute Chun Lei and reclaim the ancestor vein to hand it over to the holy sect for distribution. It better be so. Master Chongshu nodded and was about to dismiss everyone when suddenly an immortal crane descended controlling the sky. When the immortal crane landed before everyone, it spoke. Reporting to the sect leader, the supreme elder of the demon-slaying sect has arrived. Who? Upon hearing this, Master Chongshu's expression changed. The other nascent souls looked at each other, their eyes filled with complexity. Dong! Before everyone could react, the clouds above the sky suddenly began to churn, like a calm sea unexpectedly whipped into a tsunami. Quick! Master Chongshu hurriedly instructed. Invite the Supreme Elder over. No need. A cold voice with a hint of laughter rang in their ears. Many nascent souls had not even noticed before an old man in coarse hemp clothing appeared before them. The old man stood with his hands behind his back, saying leisurely, I'm here to say a few words then leave, no need to alarm your master. All 9 nascent souls rose together. Master Chongshu, with great respect, spoke, Elder Li, shouldn't you be stationed at the demon clan's border? Why suddenly visit our sect? Is there an urgent matter? Indeed, there is urgency. Li Guanfu said, the blood demon army grows increasingly. 1 point fails, another falls. If this continues, this old man will be overwhelmed. Yes, indeed. Master Chongshu adopted a troubled expression. Earlier we were just discussing how to respond. No need to discuss. I'll give you a plan. Li Guanfu bluntly said. Immediately draft a plea for aid in the name of the holy sect to Eastern Continent, asking the Great Han there to send troops. The Emperor Chun Lei holds the heavenly book array in his hand and commands more than 200,000 mortal troops, perfect for dealing with the blood demon army. In exchange, you must agree to a non-interference pact with Eastern Continent and abandon any thoughts of breaking the seal. Upon these words, everyone froze. Before the Kungsu sect leader could speak, Chao Xia quickly interjected, Elder Li, wouldn't this be unwise? The Eastern Continent is of great significance to the righteous path. After waiting so long for the seal to waver, how could we miss the opportunity to reclaim it for the cultivation world? As for the blood demon army, once we seize Divine Continent, I too can command mortal forces there to handle it, and warfare is also my expertise. Yes, Elder Li, Master Chongshu continued, in the Eastern Continent there might be more than just one ancestor vein. How could we possibly hand it over to a group of loose cultivators with no Taoist inheritance? Moreover, that Chun Lei is a disciple of the demon son Xiangzong and has slaughtered numerous righteous sect disciples. How could we easily forgive him? Heh! Li Guanfu sneered twice. If that's the case, then this old man will have to lead the demon-slaying sect and join the ancient demon clan. The nascent soul cultivators present tensed up. Wang Shouzhua, the sect leader of the Heavenly Sword sect, hurriedly said, Elder Li, this kind of joke mustn't be made. This old man has no time to joke with you. Li Guanfu spoke in a manner devoid of the demeanor of a great power cultivator, resembling more an old man arguing in the marketplace. Without enough help, everyone is running themselves ragged. It's only a matter of time before the Great Wall falls and the 36 sects are obliterated. In that case, why should this old man lead disciples and stay there just to die for you? Anyway, to this old man, there's not much difference between you and the demon cult. Whoever dies first is the same. Elder Li, your words are mistaken. Master Chongshu explained earnestly. The demon path uses the common people as blood meals, while the righteous path takes upholding the heavenly Tao as its duty. How could there be no difference? Enough. I won't waste words with you. Let's prepare for battle. Li Guanfu gestured to leave but paused just as he was turning, rubbing his chin with his left hand, his hoarse voice muttering to himself, But if we're going to battle, why not start from here? As the words fell, the spiritual energy in Yushu Palace seemed to become tangible. The 9 nascent soul cultivators present felt their 7 orifices and all their meridians clogged, unable to mobilize their mana. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Before them, their life-bound spiritual treasures rose gradually, triggering the instinct to protect their masters, and spirit light blazed. At the critical moment, bands of golden light tore through the clouds like the rising sun, shining into the Yushu Palace, and dispelling the invisible force suppressing everyone. Simultaneously, a powerful voice surged like a tsunami. Brother Li, why trouble a group of juniors here? Huangfu Zhengzi, don't waste words with me. Li Guanfu's figure floated up, hair and beard wild, robes billowing, voice like a reverberating bell. Today, either agree to my proposal or come out and settle this with a duel. Li Guanfu, the heavy voice sounded again. You're nearly 2,000 years old, one of the few great powers in the world. Why act like a shrew? Really disregarding your dignity? Li Guanfu remained silent, merely casting spells. The innate magical power unique to divinity transformation cultivators spread like a bright moon rising suddenly, or like an abyss devouring nature's spiritual energy, shaking the whole Yushu Palace and causing the entire Kunlun ruins to tremble violently. Stop! Huangfu Zhengzi's voice enveloped all. Li Guanfu, this matter is crucial. You and I should sit down and discuss this slowly. Li Guanfu still kept silent, only chanting spells ceaselessly, the bright moon growing larger, almost filling the whole treasure hall. Enough, enough! Huangfu Zhengzi's tone became notably urgent. I agree to your suggestion. Now you can stop. Upon hearing this, The innate magical power on Li Guanfu gradually dissipated like smoke, and peace returned to the hall. That's right. He raised one hand, pointing to the other's hiding place, accusing, "Many things can be handled with a simple yes or no. Why make it so complicated? Don't be hasty." Huang Fu Zhangzi said solemnly, "I agree to form an alliance with the Eastern continent, but the contents of the alliance still need discussion. Speak quickly. Spare me the nonsense." Li Guanfu urged. The two divinity transformation cultivators communicated through the air. About an hour later, the agreement was reached, and Li Guanfu drifted away, while the nascent soul cultivators also dispersed. "Tian Sha, let us also leave." Wang Shouzhua sighed, leading two fellow nascent souls away from the Kungsu sacred land. In the sky, they stood together on a row of bamboo rafts. Those mountain wild loose cultivators of the eastern continent truly have exceptional chi fortune. Wang Shouzhua lamented. The seal was about to fail to protect them, and now blood demon suddenly emerges. It seems in the short term, we can't recover the ancestor vein. Chao Xie's face hid in shadows, his expression indiscernible. "No need for you to feel upset about it, junior brother," Rong Rojuan said softly. "The affairs of the eastern continent are significant. They may dodge for a moment, but they can't dodge forever. No need for words, senior brother, senior sister." Chao Xie spoke calmly. "I have my own plans. Holy Sect Kungsu, forbidden area of the rear mountain." Master Chongshu stood before the cave heaven-blessed land. Perplexed, "Master, why did Li Guanfu suddenly come to shelter that young Chun? Is it merely to deal with the demon path? Or does he already know there's something hidden in the eastern continent?" Inside the cave mansion, the Supreme Elder spoke solemnly. "Perhaps both." Master Chongshu frowned. "Li Guanfu getting involved makes things more difficult. Given the circumstances, we have no choice but to solve the immediate troubles." Huang Fu Zhangzi said slowly, "You may withdraw, follow the previous agreement. Remember to leave Chan Sansi's group, try to keep them within controllable range." Great Han capital city. In the dimly lit imperial study room, Chun Sansi labored day and night with formation, surrounded by a mountain pile of array plates and array flags. This time he stayed in Chang'an for a whole year, devoting most of his energy to honing formation skills, naturally improving his ability. At this moment, Chun Sanchur is delving into a third-order mountain protection formation. This formation is called the Tai Golden Light Formation. Once set up, even ordinary golden core cultivators find it hard to break the boundary. The most crucial step remains for it to achieve great success.
Inscription.
The inscriptions on the array plate are complex and profound, requiring one to hold an engraving knife, connect with the formation with one's divine sense, and then use mana to engrave it in one breath. In Chan Sanchi's consciousness, he seemed to be in endless darkness, with only the vast heavenly Tao laws in sight. He must rely on his strong divine sense, using the carving knife at hand to borrow the power of the heaven and earth laws. This process consumes a great deal of spirit. But fortunately, Chun Sanchur has exceptional memory and is proficient in various skills, some of which bear a resemblance, allowing him to completely grasp the rules of the formation after several failures. The engraving knife in his hand seemed like a brush, sketching rune after rune in the void. Until a certain moment, all the runes buzzed and began to rotate intricately, echoing each other, bursting out vast and strong spiritual power fluctuations, shattering the dark space. Chun Sanchur suddenly opened his eyes, his consciousness returning to reality. The array plate on the table floated in midair on its own, with array flags rising from the ground, meticulously arranged around it. A golden light boundary abruptly expanded with the array plate as the center, eventually covering the entire harem like a big bowl. It's done. Skill. Formation. Third order. Progress. 0/2000. Utility. As arm points. As arm points, the formation set can be controlled at will without requiring a token or array plate, functioning like an arm directing a finger. Being able to reach this level is often due to innate talent in formations or a special constitution. This is also the dream level for formation masters. Only by detaching from the token and being able to control the formation can one fight freely in battle. After all, it was not unprecedented for formation masters to set up a killing formation, only to have the token accidentally seized by the enemy, dying in their own formation. It's time to start. Chun Sancher waved his sleeve, putting the formation away, then took out a compass, injecting his divine sense into it for another attempt at cracking it. The scattered runes, like tangled threads, filled the sky, and he had to arrange them in one go, which required extremely high formation knowledge and divine sense. In the past, he managed to progress only to a quarter extent before a splitting headache forced him to stop. But with his divine sense now comparable to the middle stage of a golden core, coupled with third-order formation knowledge, he almost expended little blood energy and successfully completed the final step. Crack! The compass rotated on its own, automatically aligning at various directions, then released a burst of golden smoke, twisting into several lines of special ancient characters and symbols in the air. Is this a method to calculate the position and timing of the appearance of the extreme north? Chun Sancher recognized these characters and quickly understood their meaning. The so-called extreme north is the initial birth location, but its position constantly changes and is not fixed. Little Bamboo, bring the map of Sky Water Continent, he called out. Standing guard outside the hall, Dongfang Jingxing immediately brought the map, spreading it out before His Majesty. 100 years ago, the secret realm appeared in the southwest Sun direction, and now it should be in the southeast Dui, surrounded by mountains. Following the tips, Chun Sancher searched the corresponding area on the map and quickly found a geographically matching location. His finger heavily fell on a battlefield near the Great Wall for demon suppression. Skywater Continent, Guangren Dao. In 2 years, the secret realm will change locations again. In other words, he should find the secret realm within 2 years. Your Majesty, Dongfang Jingxing, looking at the map, said softly, if I remember correctly, the Guangren Dao Great Wall is one of the areas where the war between the righteous and demon forces is intensely fierce. Based on the 9 Nether Forbidden Land experience, the manifestation of the secret realm often causes anomalies. In such a place crowded with people, it would attract multiple attentions, and if sects nearby claim it, outsiders will hardly enter the secret realm. The 9 Nether Forbidden Land was deliberately left by the 36 sects to give leftover opportunities to loose cultivators, so everyone can go. The truly treasure-hidden secret realms, unless manifesting unexpectedly, have long been claimed by local cultivation forces. The accidental appearance of a second secret realm in the 9 Nether Forbidden Land initially let a swarm of loose cultivators benefit unexpectedly. It's a problem. Chun Sancher pondered over it in his heart. The Great Han, being a mortal enemy wanted by the Holy Sect, is evidently not allowed to approach the secret realm. Even if they disguise themselves and sneak in once discovered, they face being besieged until death. We still have 2 years to carefully plan. After being in seclusion for over a month, now achieving success, Chun Sancher couldn't help but feel a bit fatigued. He rubbed his forehead and asked, is there anything requiring my direct handling recently? Dongfang Jingxing took out a letter from his pocket. Just yesterday, Shangguan Siheng from the demon-slaying sect sent someone to request an audience with your majesty. Let the cabinet draft an edict for me, Chun Sancher said. Give him an official title so he can be exempt from the sealing suppression. 20 days later, they met in a side hall. His Majesty Tianwu, Shangguan Siheng, adhering to local customs, first saluted, then said, after our sect's supreme elder went to Kungsu to clarify the pros and cons, the Holy Sect has revoked the bounty against the Great Han and your Majesty. They have sent a letter requesting the Great Han to send troops to Skywater to aid in the righteous demon battlefield. As a gesture of gratitude, the 3 heavenly sects will jointly provide a large sum of spirit stones and heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Chun Sancher sipped the tea poured by the palace maid lightly and asked, what about the sealing issue? Our supreme elder proposed that henceforth, Skywater shall not attack the eastern continent, but Kungsu refused. Shangguan Siheng seemed somewhat hesitant when he said this, finally handing out the letter. For specific content, please have His Majesty Tianwu read it personally. Little Bamboo. Chun Sancher instructed. Read it aloud. Yes. Dongfang Jingxing opened the envelope and recited every word. The demon path is rampant. The heavenly path collapses. Now in the name of Bai Yujing. The first part of the letter was known content. Until the end, only the important conditions were stated. During the alliance period, the 36 immortal sects of Skywater and the Chun Han dynasty of the Eastern Continent shall not infringe upon each other. After the Righteous Demon War concludes, discussions regarding the return of the Eastern Continent will proceed. At that time, considering mortal Emperor Chen Lei, if he voluntarily offers the Ancestor Vein, past misdeeds will be overlooked, and he will be included in the 36 immortal sects, allocated spirit veins, and allowed to establish sects. If stubbornly unyielding, the Holy Sect will self-retrieve the Eastern Continent, considering Chun Lei's merit in demon suppression, only rooting out the spirit root to abolish cultivation, preserving the clan's life, ensuring eternal prosperity and honor. Your Majesty, Kungsu's bullying is excessive. Dongfang Jingxing's anger could no longer be restrained as he recited to this point. The whole text reveals Kungsu sect's arrogance, treating the promised resources like rewards, demanding Great Han to leave the Eastern Continent voluntarily after the war, or else they will destroy their majesty. Clearly, this is exploiting the Great Han's help for Skywater and then discarding them, utterly arrogant. His Majesty Tianwu, please don't worry. Shangguan Siheng, inexplicably, when seeing Chun Lei's brother's real appearance, felt an aura that commanded respect without anger. Unable to hold back, he advised, the Righteous Demon War will last for years. Consider it a temporary measure. After the war, our sect's Supreme Elder will again visit the Holy Sect to help negotiate. It's crucial to send troops to Skywater within 2 years, or else there will be great suffering among the people. His Majesty Tianwu, you've always governed the world with benevolence. Now you should prioritize the welfare of all living beings. Brother Shangguan, you have a truly genuine heart. Chun Sancher couldn't help but recall that back in Ronghua City, members of the demon-slaying sect, in order to rescue a group of strangers, went to their deaths without hesitation. He knew Shangguan Siheng was worried he'd refuse to send troops to Skywater out of dissatisfaction with the Holy Sect. But actually, as a monarch, Chun Sancher wouldn't let personal emotions affect his judgment on the situation. He solemnly said, go back and tell the Holy Sect that I agree to send troops to Skywater, but on one condition, the stationing location must be personally chosen by me. Choose your own garrison location? Shangguan Siheng paused for a moment. That should not be a problem. Good. Then please convey to Brother Shangguan that once the Holy Sect agrees, I will immediately deploy troops to Heavenly Water. Chun Sansi agreed to send troops primarily because of the matters concerning the secret realm in the extreme north. It also serves as an opportunity to delay the outbreak of conflict between both sides. Over the past year, the spiritual energy concentration of the Mang Mountain Ancestor Vein has been constantly increasing, and the cracks in the ceiling are widening. If the 36 heavenly water sects were to act at this juncture, it could indeed bring huge trouble. Taking advantage of the great battle between righteous and demon paths, finding the secret realm location and refining the destructive spirit array is the only way to solve the problem once and for all. Considering all the above, since the Three Heavens sect is still willing to offer a large batch of spirit stones for free, why not? Your Majesty Tianwu's profound understanding of righteousness, on behalf of the people of Heavenly Water, I thank the Great Han and His Majesty. Shangguan Siheng joyfully said, I will head back and relay the terms to them immediately. In the 8th month of the 26th year of Tianwu's reign, for over 2 decades since its founding, the Great Han dynasty enjoyed peace and prosperity for the first time as it mobilized the entire nation, dispatching military provisions from across the realm, marching south to Shuzhou, and directing their forces straight toward Heavenly Water. The current Great Han dynasty had long unified the Eastern Continent, boasting vast territories and ample military resources, with nearly 4 million elite forces alone. This expedition deployed over 2.6 million troops. Combined with civilian support, the numbers approached 8 million. Deploying such a force is an incredibly lengthy process, and even with assistance from flying immortal ships, it still requires a significant amount of time. During this time, Chen Sansi continued to hone various skills. Skill: Talisman Painting, second tier. Progress: 945/1000. Skill: Alchemy, second tier. Progress: 966/1000. Skill: Heavenly Calculation of 10,000 Soldiers, second level. Progress: 788/1000. Both Talisman Painting and Alchemy are just a final bottleneck away from breaking through to the third tier, while the progress of puppetry technique is slightly behind. However, since it's a life-bound puppet and can absorb spiritual energy by itself, after Chen Sansi breaks through to the Golden Core realm, this puppet's strength already reaches foundation establishment. If he could obtain a Demon Core someday, he might even upgrade it to a Golden Core level puppet. Of course, these are matters for the future. For now, the immediate priority is to locate the secret realm. This time, with the Million Iron Cavalry expeditions, Chen Sansi himself took command, appointing Qi Cheng as the military advisor and fourth brother Wang Ji as the vice commander. The Heavenly Assault Army, composed of 10,000 cultivators from Skywall City, with the main general appointed as Sima Yao and the deputy general as Wang Li. The remaining army of over 2 million Qi-blood martial artists was led by various founding military officers. The former Piyang brothers have now all become veteran generals, with an average age close to 60, long capable of independent command. It's worth mentioning that due to the presence of Emperor's breath soil, even growing treasure medicine at the periphery significantly enhanced the overall realm of Qi-blood martial artists. Father Emperor, Chen Yunqi approached him. Is it truly unnecessary for your children to go with you? You and Yunhuan should stay in the capital city, taking care of the spiritual beasts raised on Langfeng Peak. Chen Sansi jested. Our great Han dynasty has yet to reach the point of needing a princess on the battlefield. Chen Yunqi and Su Yunhuan exchanged glances, both feeling a bit dejected but said no more. By the way, Yunqi, your father has something for you. Chen Sansi took out a scroll from his chest and handed it to her. This magical treasure is called the 100 Beasts List, which can carry hundreds of spiritual beasts at once. His eldest daughter's beast-taming talent was excellent, perfectly matching this magical treasure. Thank you, Father Emperor. Chen Yunqi recognized the value of the magical treasure and carefully stowed it into her storage bag. All right, you all may leave now. Chen Sansi waved them away. The preparations for the military campaign needed more time, and he handed over the remaining miscellaneous tasks to Su Wenkai while he left the eastern continent. Returning to the Sky-Water Continent's Qingshu sect, he needed the identity of Lu Shengji to leverage the sect's spirit vein for cultivation, so he couldn't remain absent for too long. Recent news announced that the sect's higher-ups were convening a meeting, requiring all cultivators of the Golden Core realm and above to attend. In Qingshu sect, there were few inhabitants. Over 70% of the disciples were dispatched to the border battlegrounds. The meeting's location was on the cliffside at the peak of Taiyuan Peak, where the Supreme Elder resided. The inner sect elders of the 8 peaks were seated on the ground, including the Supreme Elder and the Master's wife. They were incessantly discussing something, making the mountaintop exceptionally noisy. The Qingxian mountain group is truly bullying too much. Yes, to have us, Qingshu sect, defend the most dangerous area, is clearly an attempt to borrow the demon path to weaken our Qingshu sect's strength. Heavenly water is on the brink of peril, yet these people still engage in internal power struggles. It's outrageous. In my opinion, this must be a suggestion from the Heavenly Sword sect. Otherwise, how would Qingxian Mountain dare? Noticing someone arriving at the mountaintop, the elders all turned their attention collectively. Chen Sansi clasped his hands in salute. Disciple Lu Shengji greets all senior uncles and teachers. My apologies for not being present earlier due to seclusion. As the first disciple of this generation to form a core, it's great to finally meet. You truly have an impressive presence, sect leader Master Xuanqing praised. The future development of our sect's Taoist inheritance will rely on young talents like you. Since you're here, sit down and listen in. Having formed a golden core, you're qualified to open a peak of your own. With some accumulated prestige, you can become the 9th inner sect elder. Thank you, sect leader. Chun Sansi sat himself down in a corner. The crowd began to continue the previous topic. A sturdy Taoist with a full face of graying whiskers angrily said, "Tell me, why should we be at the mercy of others? There's no helping it. Compared to the 12 nascent soul upper sects, our current strength is still far from enough. I'm afraid we can only swallow this grievance." Chun Sansi listened for a while and understood the context of the argument. After the supreme elder of the Qingshu sect stepped into the mid-stage nascent soul, he planned to apply to the holy sect for a 4th-rank spiritual vein as a new sect location. There are only a few 4th-rank spiritual veins without owners in Skywater continent. Moreover, although these spiritual veins are nominally ownerless, nearby sects have long occupied them privately in reality. Now asking the sects to move is undoubtedly cutting their flesh, and they naturally feel unwilling, so they demand that the Qingshu sect go to the border to engage the demon path on the grounds of insufficient contribution to the heavenly water righteous path. In the end, it's a struggle for resources, and the conversation revealed that the heavenly sword sect of the Three Heavens sect and the Qingshu sect have significant grievances. This matter is being manipulated behind the scenes by the heavenly sword sect. Senior uncles, senior brothers, and senior sisters. Supreme Elder Zhang Huiqing stood up and spoke gently. "In my humble opinion, let's not continue arguing about this matter. We just need to guard the border for a while, which is also contributing to the common good. In due course, I will personally oversee and ensure that the situation does not spiral out of control. If it's truly impractical, we can forego that 4th-rank spiritual vein." What did nephew say? Upon hearing this, True Master Xuanqing stood up abruptly. "The spiritual vein is crucial to our sect's millennia-long plan. How can we just give it up?" "Exactly." The brawny Taoist followed up. "I say, junior brother, are you crazy?" A thin elder, who looked like a withered tree, snorted coldly and accused, "Zhang Huiqing, since you assumed the position of Supreme Elder, our sect has retreated continuously, losing numerous mines and workshops. Your cultivation has finally shown progress. This is precisely when you should retrieve those losses and seek a high-level spiritual vein to bring fortune to our disciples, not retreat further. Or is it?" He paused, emphasizing his tone. "You, Zhang Huiqing, occupy the cave heaven-blessed land and enjoy all resources for yourself, disregarding others?" "Senior brother." Zhang Huiqing looked directly at him and answered solemnly, "I have absolutely no such intention. Indeed." Though True Master Xuanqing was displeased, he still supported, "I believe nephew Huiqing is not a selfish person. And over the years, though Huiqing has used more resources, who among you can achieve his feat of stepping into the mid-stage nascent soul in one go? This and that are different issues." The brawny Taoist waved his hand. "Junior brother Huiqing's exceptional talent is undeniable, but he truly is an incompetent supreme elder." "Exactly." True Master Baoyuan, emaciated to skin and bones, pressed on aggressively. "If you ask this poor Taoist, junior brother Huiqing should just stop being the supreme elder and focus on cultivation. Wouldn't that be better?" On the mountain top, the conversation took a sudden turn. From the initial debate on how to handle the exclusion from the nascent soul sects, it abruptly shifted to criticizing Supreme Elder Zhang Huiqing, even suggesting his removal. Long before Xue Shenrong was alive, Chun Sansi had heard that the Qingshu sect's senior elders had many grievances against Zhang Huiqing, but he didn't expect it to have reached this stage. The 8 elders present could roughly be divided into 2 factions. Led by True Master Baoyuan, 3 elders held significant objections, opposed to Zhang Huiqing remaining as Supreme Elder. The rest, led by sect leader True Master Xuanqing, wished to maintain the status quo. Senior brother Baoyuan. Master Yuling spoke up. "Junior brother Huiqing has committed no errors over the years. The loss of mines and workshops is the responsibility of all of us. So how can it be pinned on junior brother alone? Yu Ling, you of course defend him. The brawny true Master Jihuan said mercilessly. The sect has only 3 cave heaven-blessed lands, and one was given to you, junior brother Huiqing. The hoarse voice of true Master Baoyuan continued. You have good talent, and we have no issue with you using more resources, but you shouldn't allocate them recklessly. One of the 3 cave heaven-blessed lands was given to junior sister Yu Ling, and after all these years, there's been no progress. And another one was given to that mute outsider. Next to Chun Sansi sat an elder in disarrayed attire and sallow complexion. As far as he knew, this person was Elder Su Taisu from Wuliang Peak. Not originally from the Qingshu sect but an outsider and loose cultivator, joining after the previous supreme elder passed away. Moreover, upon entry, he received the highest treatment, second only to Zhang Huiqing in monthly immortal stipend. Yet over many years, he showed no progress, did not take in disciples, and contributed nothing to the sect's development. Mute! I'm talking to you. True Master Jihuan barged forward, grabbed the old man's collar, and roared. You've avoided going to the frontier to slay demons several times. Why does the Qingshu sect have to support an old tortoise like you? Su Taisu remained still, allowing the other's spittle to spray all over his face, neither retorting nor getting angered by the insults. Senior brother Jihuan. Zhang Huiqing spoke calmly. Senior Su was an old acquaintance of our master. Inviting him to join as an elder was also our master's last wish. The master was muddled too. True Master Jihuan, with his hot temper, said, There's also that Gue Mountain Lord who our master insisted on taking in. These 2 alone have wasted countless resources. Those who don't know might think our Qingshu sect is a large clan with great property. Junior brother Huiqing, Flowing Cloud Peak's Xue Jingfeng, with a grim expression, spoke. Fine. Even if Mu Chutai and Su Taisu were our master's will, and we as disciples cannot defy master's will, what about Yu Ling? Joining Baihua Valley isn't by master's decree. So why do you keep favoring them? Moreover, his tone soared sharply, like a resonant bell. Junior sister Yu Ling committed a grave crime. According to the sect's rules, she should be confined for 50 years at the penitence cliff, with her immortal stipend suspended. Why does she still retain the lotus-blessed land? Xue Jingfeng. Master Yu Ling cast an indifferent gaze. Even if you desire the lotus-blessed land, you shouldn't resort to slander, right? Indeed. Zhang Huiqing said. What crime has senior sister Yu Ling committed? What crime indeed? Xue Jingfeng sneered. Letting a direct disciple cultivate demon techniques and slaughter fellow disciples. And you still dare claim you've done no wrong? Oh, true Master Xuanqing was noticeably startled. What do you mean, nephew Jingfeng? Uncles, fellow senior brothers. Xue Jingfeng righteously exposed. Baihua Valley disciple Jiang Xie cultivated demon techniques and slaughtered innocent lives. My son Xue Shenrong died at her hands. Senior brother Xue. A mustached elder got alarmed. You can't say that recklessly. Indeed. True Master Xuanqing said. That day it was clearly Dugu Ao from the demon-slaying sect who ambushed them, which led to Shenrong's tragic death. This was also seen firsthand by Guiyuan sect's Taoist Feng Ji. How could it be Jiang Xie who killed him? Sect leader. I'm speaking the absolute truth. Before Shenrong died that day, he sent me a message saying he saw Jiang Xie's demonic transformation and asked me to stop her from indiscriminate slaughter. Xue Jingfeng's eyes were bloodshot, shouting hoarsely. When I arrived, I encountered Dugu Ao killing Shenrong. He had no grievance with Shenrong, so why such a deadly act? There was only one reason: he was silencing. He didn't want Shenrong to reveal the truth he witnessed. Moreover, if Jiang Xie hadn't practiced demon techniques, how could she and Lu Shengji have fought against the Blood Bamboo Master of the Seven Kill sect and exchanged for the Creation Jade Du? Both of them were merely at the Foundation establishment realm at the time. The incident of Chun Sansi and Jiang Xie joining forces to kill a Golden Core cultivator indeed sparked considerable discussion at the time. But it was soon overshadowed by greater turmoil, and no one thought much deeper about it. Today, upon hearing Xue Jingfeng's words, Everyone began to ponder the peculiarity of it all. The Tianshui 36 immortal sects, although they sound many, are just a handful within the vast territory of Skywater continent. More commonly are the third-rate sects and various sizes of cultivation families. Within these forces, as long as one golden core cultivator emerges, it can ensure the continuation of legacy for hundreds of years. How could a golden core cultivator be so easily defeated by a foundation establishment cultivator? Elder Shui. Chan Sansi explained calmly. The related situation I had already explained to the people of the Steward Hall in Dragon Elephant City. That day at Little Witch Mountain, a duel of late-stage nascent soul cultivators occurred. Xuezhu was caught up in it and got seriously injured, which allowed me and senior sister Shiyu to take advantage. In fact, they did kill that golden core together with senior sister, and they indeed used many unscrupulous means. It's better to give a more acceptable explanation than to be suspected. I can attest to this point, Master Xuanqing said solemnly. Before Zhao Rui made a move, a duel among high realm cultivators took place near Little Witch Mountain, witnessed by many, and Shengji should not be lying. Words alone hold no proof, Xue Jingfeng said harshly. If Jiang Xie has not been demonized, why hasn't she shown up since returning from Si Xue Dao? Master Yuling's expression was calm as ever, voice like a clear spring. Brother Jingfeng, not long ago, I found a demon core for Shiyu. She's currently in seclusion forming her core. Isn't it normal for you not to see her? Stop with the nonsense. Xue Jingfeng pressed on relentlessly. Whether she has been demonized or not, just bring her here. Let me cast a spell, and it will be clear in one test. Yu Ling, do you dare or not? Senior brother. Zhang Huiqing advised. We all come from the same sect. Don't harm the harmony. The pain of losing a son. How can you talk so lightly? Xue Jingfeng was aggressive. Yu Ling, if you don't hand her over today, I'll have to assume you're deliberately covering for her. Crack. Just as the words fell, rolling thunder suddenly rumbled from the southwest. Everyone turned to see that above Baihua Valley, a mass of thunderclouds had gathered at some point. Heavenly tribulation. Jiang Xie began her core formation. Ha ha. Our Qingshu sect is about to have another core formation cultivator. With a hint of joy, sect leader Xuanqing transformed into light and sped towards Baihua Valley. I shall personally protect Jiang. Brother Jingfeng. Zhang Huiqing said leisurely. The cultivator undergoing tribulation demonstrates their true strength and cultivation. If Jiang Xie is truly practicing demon techniques, we will see it. Good. When the demonic qi arises, let's see how you all explain. Xue Jingfeng snorted coldly, no longer arguing, just quietly watching Baihua Valley. Senior sister is about to form her core? Chen Sansi was completely unaware of this. Like the elder, he hasn't seen the blind woman since returning from Si Xue Dao. Moreover, the heavenly tribulation is difficult to withstand. He also worries, will Jiang Xie reveal demonic qi because of this? Recalling the events at Little Witch Mountain, if this senior sister enters a frenzied state again, she might turn Qingshu sect upside down. Boom! As a snake-like lightning bolt fell, the small heavenly tribulation belonging to the Golden Core cultivator officially began. Unexpectedly, Jiang Xie's tribulation process was remarkably smooth, with hardly any major disturbances. She endured the ninefold thunder tribulation with her protective spirit treasure and formidable ice attribute mana, and showed no hint of demonic qi with Yin and fiend attributes. Nephew Jingfeng, an old woman approached. You saw, even the heavenly thunder didn't reveal even a trace of demonic qi. Surely it is just a misunderstanding. Watching the phenomena of the heavenly tribulation dissipate, disappointment flashed in Xue Jingfeng's eyes, but it was soon replaced by determination. You still haven't passed me. Boom! He suddenly shot up into the clouds, then headed straight towards Baihua Valley. Senior brother? Zhang Huiqing called out but did not stop him. After exchanging glances, the other numerous elders chased after him. Master! Chen Sansi looked over. It doesn't matter. Master Yuling said lightly. Just follow along. If he doesn't give up today, it will be more troublesome in the future. Chun Sansi followed the others. High above Baihua Valley, the blind woman who had just overcome the heavenly tribulation was still in the clouds. As she was about to return to the cave heaven-blessed land, she noticed someone swiftly approaching her. Nephew Jingfeng. Not far off, Protector Master Xuanqing shouted. Do not act recklessly. Demon exorcism spell. Xue Jingfeng, without explanation, formed a seal with his hands, summoning a large Dharma seal before him, imprisoning the blind woman like a cage. Uncle Master, he shouted loudly. No one, if there's even a trace of demonic chi within them, can escape my demon exorcism spell. If I fail to detect it, I am willing to be punished. You, Master Xuanqing sighed. Under the suppression of the demon exorcism spell, the ice soul sword in Jiang Xia's hand exuded coldness, but seemingly instructed, she chose not to resist, allowing the spell to layer upon her, its power continuously rising. No reaction? How's this possible? Xue Jingfeng roared. His vast golden core power surged out. The golden glow of the demon exorcism spell was dazzling, like a bright sun. Under the attack of this power, the blind woman's delicate body started trembling. Blood dripped from the corner of her lips. Her face turned deathly pale. However, still no demonic chi was revealed. Enough! Master Xianchang raised his hand and released a thunder skill, interrupting the demon exorcism spell, and angrily exclaimed, Nephew Jingfeng, you have gone too far. Indeed, Jingfeng. The old woman followed, saying, you just completed golden core formation. Your rough methods. If they shake her foundation, what shall we do? Impossible. Xue Jingfeng said incredulously. My son Xianrong explained it clearly. He has seen Jiang Xia possessed kill people more than once. How can it be false? Senior brother Jingfeng, you need to calm down. Zhang Huiqing swung his wide Taoist robe's sleeves, and immediately a sky full of auspicious clouds spread out, with chains of golden light extending, binding the elder of Flowing Cloud Peak firmly. He solemnly said to the sect leader master, Uncle Master, Xue Jingfeng injured fellow sect junior unjustly. Bring him to Reflecting Cliff and administer the branding punishment. Nephew, this is your own doing. You cannot blame your Uncle Master. Master Xiancheng, with a tone full of helplessness, took him away. Senior brother Jihuan, senior brother Baoyuan. Zhang Huiqing no longer appeared as amiable as before. Waves of nascent soul divine sense pressure spread, making it hard for everyone present to breathe. He warned, no matter how much you disagree with me, please wait until after the righteous and evil war ends to speak. Otherwise, do not blame me for being ruthless. Master Jihuan and Master Baoyuan had obviously colluded with Xue Jingfeng long ago, their aim being to catch Zhang Huiqing off guard and force him to distribute extra cave heaven-blessed lands. But now, having found no evidence, they knew they were at fault and left in embarrassment. Master Yuling carried the injured blind woman and dropped into Baihua Valley. The rest left one after another. Shengji. When Zhang Huiqing spoke to him, his tone became much calmer. You successfully formed the golden core. You may go to the treasure pavilion and choose any 2/3 rank treasures and a cultivation technique. Thank you, Elder Huiqing. Chun Sansi clasped his hands. Don't just stand there dumbly. Zhang Huiqing transmitted his voice. Quickly return to the valley. Your senior sister needs you. Senior sister? Chun Sansi quickly understood what he meant and without delay, transformed into the light of escape, crashing into Baihua Valley, immediately sensing the soaring demonic chi. He saw the blind woman sitting cross-legged on the ground, her hair turning white inch by inch, the demonic chi within her rising strand by strand. Xue Jingfeng's demon exorcism spell was not useless. It was just that she endured it. Junior brother. Senior sister Jiang Qiangsu arrived in time, reminding, quick, activate the formation, then use the jade pendant. Chun Sansi took out the token that senior sister left him a long time ago and activated the formation at the bottom of Baihua Valley. Buzz rumble. With the surging vast spiritual power, a shielding boundary first rose from the bottom of the valley, completely isolating it from the outside world. Then a dazzling golden light scroll gathered. On the scroll, it depicted heads of divine beasts. They broke out of the painting, descended upon the world, arranging themselves in the southeast, northwest directions. 9 tribulations, suppression, formation, fate turning, suppression, maintaining the center. For ancient divine beasts simultaneously opened their huge mouths, spewing forth vast clean energy like rivers, suppressing the demonic chi within the center. Inside Jiangxia, Chen Sansi took out the yin-yang jade, displaying fire techniques including Tai-yin Qinghua life and death flame. Master Yu Ling, Jiang Qiangsu assisted from the side. Even with the 3 working together, they were unable to restrain the demonic chi in the blind woman, who fell to the ground clutching her heavenly spirit, struggling in pain. The blood-red demonic chi began transforming into sword chi, ravaging in all directions. Chen Sansi gritted his teeth, his mana within nearly overloaded. Yet he still retreated step by step, difficult to maintain. Master Yu Ling and senior sister were in the same situation. Just as they were about to repeat the scene from Little Witch Mountain, a sharp bright shout suddenly echoed above their heads. Suppression. The word, suppression, like a decree from a heavenly god, thunderously in everyone's ears, causing a shudder in their spirits. Chen Sansi looked up and saw a copper bell more than 10 feet high descend from the sky, directly enclosing Jiangxia within it. The surface of the copper bell was flowing with densely packed ancient runes, resonating with a humming sound, accompanied by the chanting of scriptures, filling the entire surroundings, as if countless heavenly spirits were hosting a grand ceremony. Buddhist treasure? No, spiritual treasure. With the assistance of the spiritual treasure, their pressure was suddenly eased, and the mana they exerted finally gradually overcame the demonic chi. After a cup of tea, the storm subsided. The copper bell dissipated like smoke, transforming into a piece of jade as thin as cicada wings falling to the ground. And Jiangxia, trapped within, fell into a coma, unconscious. It turned out to be a 4th rank talisman. Who helped us? Chen Sansi looked up but didn't see a 4th person's figure. Also, the sound didn't seem like Supreme Elder Zhang Huiqing. Shi Yu. Master Yu Ling's anxious voice interrupted his thoughts. She waved the horsetail whisk and dragged the blind woman's body into the air, then placed it into the spring water burning with red lotus karma fire. The view before his eyes was obscured by thick mist. Chen Sansi waited outside for about an hour before Master Yu Ling and senior sister finally emerged. Relieved. The demon seed within Shi Yu is becoming increasingly difficult to suppress when it acts. Jiang Qiangsu's forehead was covered with fine beads of sweat, her complexion very pale. Master, we really need to come up with a solution. At this rate, we won't be able to control it completely sooner or later. Master Yu Ling looked up at the starry sky with night falling, thinking for a long time before casting her gaze upon the white robe. Sansi, take your senior sister and head to the extreme north. Extreme north? Chen Sansi was surprised. How did Master know I was planning to go to the extreme north? The ancestor vein is awakening. You need to find the spiritual pearl and create the destructive spirit array to maintain the stability of the ceiling. Master Yu Ling said softly. These things are known not only to you. Even that ghost left you from the compass was taken from me. Chen Sansi knew that Master and her were possibly withholding many matters from him. He asked, Senior sister goes to the extreme north to find what? Master Yu Ling did not reply but unexpectedly said, I haven't found a demon core for your senior sister. No demon core? Chen Sansi was momentarily stunned, then realized what it meant. It means Jiangxia did not collect core formation spiritual objects, yet easily stepped into the golden core realm. Shi Yu. Master Yu Ling astonished yet again. Her cultivation will grow by itself, self-growing. In this world, there is actually someone who doesn't need cultivation. Just lying down can enhance her cultivation. When your senior sister was born, a demon seed was implanted within her body. This demon seed, as it grows, develops self-consciousness and under special circumstances, will seize control of Shiyu's body. The situation you witnessed at Little Witch Mountain was exactly the demon seed's possession. Master Yuling paused for a moment, then continued, moreover, under the demon seed's influence, Shiyu's own realm will automatically elevate as time goes by, without any assistance from heavenly materials and earthly treasures. But the fact she harbors a demon seed must not be known to sex, otherwise the consequences are unimaginable. These consequences involve not just Shiyu's life, but yours, mine, and many others. Therefore, no matter what, we must continue suppressing the demon seed. The only items that can achieve this may be found in the secret realm of Extreme North. This is the Master's request. Master, you're too formal. Chan Sansi said. I was originally planning to go to the Extreme North. Taking along Senior Sister provides additional help. I'm just worried that if Shiyu's world is once again seized by the demon seed, and I can't suppress it, what should we do? Master Yuling unexpectedly glanced at the distant woods, then slightly raised her hand, passing the talisman formed from the copper bell earlier into his hand. She said, this item is named Great Tragic Womb Soul Suppressing Bell. It is a talisman crafted from the precious spirit communication ancient treasure. Take it, it should be able to suppress the demon seed. If this item is sacrificed and still cannot suppress the demon seed, then it is Shiyu's fate to face this tribulation. You can leave on your own and need not worry about her anymore. Having been told this, Chun Sansi had no reason to refuse. He accepted the talisman. Master's wife, rest assured, I will do my utmost to protect my senior sister's safety. Master's wife thanks you on behalf of Shiyu. Master Yuling's voice inexplicably trembled. Shanshur, if you are willing, I have a way to find you a place where you can wholeheartedly cultivate, undisturbed by the outside world. Your qualification is excellent. If you cultivate with a calm mind, you will surely be able to ascend and become an immortal in the future, enjoying unparalleled happiness. The implication was to abandon guarding the eastern continent and find a place to focus solely on cultivation. I appreciate Master's wife's kindness, Chun Sansi said solemnly, but I vow to coexist with the eastern continent. His successful golden core formation was precisely because he lived his life without regrets, allowing him to proceed smoothly. If he were to flee, a heart demon would certainly arise. The master and disciple had no more exchanges. Chun Sansi bid farewell and left. Yu Ling, there's no need to persuade him further. In the forest, a clear voice rang out. Sun Xiangzong took him as a closed-door disciple back then and passed on his mantle. He must have a sincere heart. How could such a person possibly run away? But Master Yu Ling looked toward the direction where her deceased husband's successor had departed. Can we really win? How will you know if you don't try? Main Peak, Treasure Pavilion. Chun Sansi looked over the dazzling array of magical treasures, selecting items he favored. He did not intend to take other magical treasures but planned to refine his own dragon abyss sword and Longdan bright silver spear for promotion. The relevant materials were available within the sect. Songlong Spine Scale Gold. This material was formed from the spine of the East Sea Dragon, cast in lightning fire after the tribulation failed. A dark green metal ideal for crafting close combat magical treasures. He intended to entrust the task to Zinan. Currently, Zinan's realm is at late-stage foundation establishment, but her artifact refining talent is exceptional, having recently successfully crafted a third-tier magical treasure. Entrusting the refining of the Dragon Abyss Sword and Bright Silver Spear to her is no problem at all. Regarding the cultivation technique rewarded by the sect, Chun Sansi also planned to choose a scroll of artifact refining technique to gift Zinan. He himself lacked no cultivation techniques, but Zinan had mentioned before that the grade of her inheritance was not sufficient, and she might not be able to create top-grade magical treasures in the future. Chun Sansi thought it was unreasonable to demand the horse to run fast without feeding it grass, especially since most of the magical artifacts over these years were from Zinan's hands, and she nurtured a large refining group, contributing greatly to the Great Han, deserving a reward. Void Star Drawing Refining Skill. He quickly selected a suitable cultivation technique, which, If Zinan could cultivate successfully, might even allow her to forge spiritual treasures for nascent soul cultivators in the future. Besides these, Chun Sansi still lacked 2 rare materials for crafting bow and arrow. Currently, he possessed the 6-arm Shenling, 1 bow and arrow, and 1 bowstring, far from unleashing his true level of arrow Tao. During his year of residence in Chang'an, Chun Sansi consulted Zinan several times about crafting a special bow and arrow capable of firing multiple arrows simultaneously. After a long study of ancient texts, Zinan indeed found a magical treasure named 100 Deer Chasing Moon Bow. This bow and arrow is a growth-type magical treasure, created by fusing Liujia Tongshin wood and White Spirit Xian Deer blood, and Cloud Seal Demon Binding silk, with the ability to extend multiple bow cores and bowstrings upon drawing, appearing like numerous bows intertwined, potentially reaching up to 100 bowstrings. Originally a life-bound magical treasure of a centipede spirit from the demon clan, it hadn't been used in the cultivation world for over 1,000 years. Among these 3 materials, White Spirit Xian Deer blood could be bought with enough spirit stones. Liujia Tongshin wood was difficult to find, whereas Cloud Seal Demon Binding silk was available in the treasure pavilion. But presently, Chun Sansi urgently needed 2 portions of Songlong spine scale gold, and without Liujia Tongshin wood, planned to temporarily set aside the idea until he accumulated enough merits to exchange for it later. The only concern was the limited amount of Cloud Seal Demon Binding silk, which had many uses, and it was uncertain if it would be exchanged by someone else in the future. Moreover, due to recent infighting among the elders, it wasn't convenient for Chun Sansi to ask his master's wife to assist him in retrieving items, which would certainly arouse more criticism. He was about to leave when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He quickly turned around to see an elder with a sallow face and disheveled robes. Nascent Soul Elder Su Taisu. Elder Su. Chun Sansi cupped his hands in salute. Su Taisu chuckled twice, looking where the other had been gazing, then said, "Shangji, if you want Cloud Seal Demon Binding silk, why not take it? I can only take 2 items and a set of cultivation technique." Chun Sansi said, though slightly surprised internally. Throughout the Qingshu sect, no one had ever heard Su Taisu speak, which was why he was called mute by other elders previously at Taiyuan Peak. Yet now he was speaking to himself? As if seeing through his thoughts, Su Taisu smiled. "It's useless to speak if opinions don't match. I don't wish to waste words with those people. You can take Cloud Seal Demon Binding silk. Count it on my account." "I can't accept without deserving it." Chun Sansi hurriedly refused. "Don't rush to refuse. I have a request for you." Su Taisu raised his hand and waved, creating a boundary in the place they stood, then flipped his palm to reveal an array plate, speaking solemnly. "Little Taoist, help me see how this formation can be repaired."